Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first of the first Protectors of Light Anima game. So, in this game, we're going to be playing inquisitors in the world of Anima, which is an interesting perspective because usually the characters are hunted down by inquisitors. They can be a sort of recurring villain. Um, but this time it's the main characters. So before I start with the recap of the latest events in the world that are going to be important for this game, um, and we start like presenting the players and the characters, I want to go real quick over the veils and lines system. Um, just to make sure that that we're good with this for everyone. So the veils and line system is just to avoid subjects that could make some people uncomfortable in the game. The lines are subjects we don't want to have in the game at all, and the veils are things we're okay with happening to the characters as but we don't necessarily want to go into the details and the
Okay.
descriptions. So what I usually use for lines is no rape and no child abuse in the games, and like no jokes about those things either. And the veils are sex and torture. Is there anything that we want to add or modify? Stuff that you guys would rather avoid or not?
I have no additions to make.
Okay.
I'm
Nope.
fine with those.
All right. And James as well.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, perfect. In which case, hi, my name is Simon. I've been a game master for uh, a long time now, and yeah, Anima is a complicated game, but it's always been one of my favorites because of like the how complex the rules can be and how they can like represent a lot of different situations. And yeah, I'm really excited to play this game because we have wonderful players and we uh, and like we made some very interesting characters. So anybody who wants to start presenting themselves, wait, is it called presenting in English? Talking about themselves and your characters real quick.
Yeah, introducing.
Yeah, introducing. Okay.
Presenting still works.
Okay. Yeah,
Should
Jeff.
we like?
Okay.
Should we go with the elephant in the room and talk about the giant metal armor?
No, I'll go last.
Okay. I guess we could do that too.
We can
Uh,
go. We can go in the order of character creation. So I think Jeff would be first.
yeah.
Okay. Hi, my name is Jeff. I'm 53, ex-military. I work security now. Been gaming for several decades and love a variety of games. I love the Anima system. Like Simon was saying, it's got a very interesting, lots and lots of rules for combat, but you don't need to know all of them. You pick whatever your combat's going to be, and then it's got great rules governing that. So it has lots of information, but you don't necessarily need to know everything, especially since Simon does. So it makes it
Yeah,
easier to make your characters. So
I know every single thing there is to know about this game. I'm lying.
yes, and I know less than that. But yeah, so that's why I'm very excited to play Anima. And as for my character, her name is Gabriella Eliana, but she goes by L. She was found when she was 10 years old. Her village is a small village in the area of Moth in Romania. She was
Uh,
found her.
it's not called Romania. It's just that the area called Moth is similar to medieval times Romania in the vibe with the vampires and the dark stuff.
Gotcha. So she was found. Her village had been ransacked by these villainous vampire monster types. Somehow she was discovered surviving, very broken, but alive. So they rescued her. The Inquisitors did. At the time, Avil's character Luca was with them, and he was serving under Inquisitor Cario Adventus. That Simon just popped up there. Um, they found me, so I've known him since I was 10. I'm now 17. I don't look much older than 10. Character is just under 5 foot tall, just under 100 pounds. She is an assassin. Speed is her thing, and deception. So she looks like she's just a small little sister of these hulking monsters, our guys. So she can quickly strike from the shadows with speed and accuracy, and she likes using poisons as well. So she'll be trying to do a lot of attacks with poisoning things and then hiding behind her very large companions.
Okay. Very good. And then the next would be me, yes?
Yes.
Hmm?
Go ahead.
All right. I'm Sam. I'm just a barista. I'm going to college. Might want to get into engineering. That's sort of my hope if I'm smart enough. Love science. That's a very vague and general statement to make, but those are also always my favorite classes, and I'm also really lucky at science too. My character's name is Luca. He is a little farm boy, or he was a little farm boy, from way out in Argos. And he was a very violent kid. He had a lot of temper problems. It sort of came to a head when he nearly killed another boy, and he was thrown in jail. It was obviously a very big upset. It was only thanks to a passing inquisitor that it was discovered that the boy he was attacking was in fact infecting the minds of fellow citizens with dark magic. And he, with his odd ability, not so odd seeing as everybody here has it, the odd ability to see spells and supernatural energies, was the only one able to detect that evil. And that is also how he came to be part of the Inquisition. He has been training for quite some time. They taught him to sort of hone his outbursts and his violence and fuel a more righteous endeavor. He has been with the Inquisitors for quite some time, obviously, as he was part of the group that saved Gabriella. And this is just another day in the life of an Inquisitor for him. That is it for me.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I go by James. I'm 19 years old, so I'm obviously the youngest in the group. I don't know. That's pretty much all about me. But there's a lot to do with my characters. So I am controlling both of these two over here on these pings. So we have Roy Mosley and Al Mosley. Roy Mosley is the humanoid who controls Al, quote unquote. Al Mosley is the giant 15-foot armor, which is very entertaining. So far, I'm going to be getting into a lot of complicated rules, so sorry if I slow down the game. It's fun. But I'll just make Al bigger. Anyways, so not much is really known about Roy. I believe Roy is a saint already, correct?
I think you're an inquisitor, but you're one who was introduced very late to the training grounds, like towards the end of the training, and just seemed to pop out of nowhere and join this group of inquisitors.
Gotcha. Okay.
After,
So not a saint yet.
no. Technically, none of you count as saints in the sense that like in this setting, saints are people who have supernatural powers, but who are recognized by the church as those powers come from God, not from the devil, with the other as they consider every other source of supernatural powers. But inquisitors are when the inquisitors have powers, they're not considered to be evil either. It's considered that those powers come from God as well, just like they would for saints. And your character, um, is it known that you have some measure of power, at least to the people in your group?
Um, well, I do control a giant piece of armor, so obviously slightly supernatural.
Okay.
Um, but as to what so far, no. Nobody really knows what Roy can do, or even from where Roy's from. Uh, Roy has kept mostly quiet and is always accompanied by Al. They're pretty much side by side for most of the time.
Okay. So, quick recap: the setting of Anima is sort of like a medieval times setting, with a lot of fantasy. There used to be a lot of supernatural in the world, but that changed when there was a war called, I think, either the War of God. I think it was the War of God, where someone called Ra activated a machine that basically made most of the supernatural disappear from the world. Ever since, the empire of Abel, the empire of humans, has grown and slowly forgotten all of the creatures, all of the supernatural that existed. That is, unless except for the Inquisition, the armed branch of the Christian Church in this setting that sets out to track down anything supernatural and destroy it with extreme prejudice, because the teachings of your prophet Abel, the Christ of this setting, basically. Declared that anything supernatural was evil, and should be destroyed. And so, yeah, what your characters do. You go around and find those things and protect humanity from them. And lately, there's been more and more turmoil within the Empire of Abel. It has fractured very recently because the last two emperors in the lineage, it caused a lot of problems. Um, the last one, I think his name was Elias, named the first woman in history to be the supreme archbishop of the church, and she, like, a decision which was hotly contested, especially since she also started causing wars to happen and declaring wars on different principalities, which ended 6 months ago. She disappeared without a trace during an event called the Rupture of Heaven. The Rupture of Heaven was a worldwide event on New Year's Eve where the skies reddened, the oceans darkened, and the ground shook all over Gaia. There was also some fighting in the capital, but even now the details of who was fighting who are unclear. All that is known is that by the end of it, El Jared had disappeared, and Elias the Emperor was dead, and his daughter Elizabeth took on the throne just in time for um, a lot of principalities, a lot of parts of the empire to decide to quit, to do their own thing, to restore their kings, pharaohs, sultans to power. And that is the state in which we are currently. Your characters are inquisitors, and you have been sent on a mission to investigate something that has to do with the rupture of heaven. During those events, 6 months ago, a crystal fell to Earth in the small town of Elb, a town near Archangel, the capital of the Able Empire, and that is where that is where you've been sent to in order to retrieve this crystal that fell from heaven and understand what it could have to do with the strange events that happened 6 months ago. We're now in June, and your characters have just arrived in Elb. You're travel weary, but yeah, but you're still like ready for anything. As you enter the village, a lot of the people there turn to look at you. Is it clear? Is it clear that you're inquisitors? Are you wearing the red cross of the Inquisition on your capes or on your clothing?
Yeah, Al has a giant cape with the Inquisition symbol on it.
I have probably a big metal plate that the primary one that covers my heart on my armor has the cross.
Okay. Jeff, does your sneaky assassin have have symbols to make her recognizable as a member of the Inquisition? I think you might be muted, Jeff.
Yes,
No.
I am. I am. No, I'm not. I am. No, I'm disguised as like a 10 or 12-year-old girl who is just sort of tagging along with Luca. Maybe like his ward or something, or little sister or daughter or whatever.
Hopefully they will not charge me for endangerment.
I mean, like, since this setting imitates a lot of anime tropes, it's possible for very young characters to be very powerful, and yeah. So, what? Yeah, you're now in the village. It's set on top of a precarious hill with the architecture around here being a little bit different from what you're accustomed to. You've spent most of your training years near Albion in the domain, and the what's it called? And the architecture there is like very gothic. It's full of cathedrals and like extreme details, gargoyles on every building, stuff like that. But here it's a bit more whimsical. So, what do your characters do?
The very first thing we have to do is find lodging and then investigate what the townsfolk know about the fallen crystal.
Okay. So you, where do you as inquisitors find lodging? Do you request it from villagers, or do you pay the inn, or?
Well, I would prefer to at least initially see if they have room at the inn.
Okay.
If not, we could be imposing on some villagers.
Yeah, which is never a good sign.
All right. You make your way to the inn and find that it is manned by a smiling old lady who, when she sees you enter, says, "Oh, welcome, travelers. And hello, Bertrand." And she she waves at Luca as if she recognized you. What do you do?
I had intended for Luca to be in full helm. Should I have removed that?
Oh, I think it's currently in June. It's pretty warm if you like if you're traveling with your armor on, you'd be like really sweaty, but
I will
Yeah.
sacrifice the helmet. I think he would like to probably have his partial plate on anyways, but the helmet can go. He
Okay.
has that under his arm.
Okay. Um, yeah. So, what do you do?
Oh. At first, he's gonna grimace just a little because he knows he's not supposed to be the one to talk in this situation. But he's gonna say, "You're mistaken. We need. Oh, sorry. We need 2 rooms."
Oh yes. Oh, you do sound a bit different from my Bertrand. Um, that will be. How long do you plan to stay?
Would it be wise to say like maybe around a week, or do you think this? Do you think we would assume maybe a month-long investigation or something like?
Um,
Now
you
it's
do-
best to just say unsure.
That would be not a bad idea. In that case, uh,
Have a
he'll
log
say
until we are ready to leave, or until we
yes,
need to leave.
at least a week, but the date of our departure is unsure.
all right. That will be 10 coppers per room, per evening. Come, let me show you to your rooms, and she takes you through the inn. There doesn't seem to be it seems like about half of the rooms are occupied at this time, but you get 2 rooms next to each other on the ground floor. So what brings folks like you to our small town? Are you perhaps heading towards the Taozan um, with your armors? You seem to be you could be like you look like warriors who might be interested in this tournament.
I'm rolling a history to know about the tournament.
All right. Uh, okay. Yeah. So the Taozan is, I think, annual. I think it's every year. It's a tournament held of warriors held at the imperial capital. Um, the warriors from all over the place just go there and are and compete with each other. The Inquisition does keep an eye on it because the public is rather lenient on special effects, quote unquote, and supernatural powers because they look really cool and it's some like semi expected from some people, but the Inquisition just tries to the Inquisition tries to track down the individuals who show supernatural powers in the tournament to kill them later on if they're not saints. So far, the tournament has been won the last 3 years by Kisidan or Kishidan. I think he's called we call him Kisidan in French. So I think I'm just gonna call him this, which is the Praetorian bodyguard of the Empress. But rumors are that to make it more interesting this year, she has ordered him not to participate. And the last thing is the winner of this competition can ask almost anything from the Empress. The last 3 tournaments, Kisidan has asked to be allowed to remain the Empress' faithful servant.
Gotcha. Interesting.
Is winning that tournament required to be the Empress's servant?
No, not at all. Kisidan is just at the head of the Empress's personal army. I think it's called the Order of Ciel. Her personal combatants, and some of them are like their leaders are as strong as as high inquisitors.
Oh,
And how long until this tournament starts?
Um, it's going to be in I think 5 weeks. Uh,
You hear Roy actually speak, which is even during your travels, it was really rare. Uh, if we get it done with our investigation, I would like to join this competition, possibly.
um, I don't know if you answered something or not, Jeff, but you might be muted if you did.
Who, me?
No, Jeff.
No.
I didn't say anything, but I will turn and look at him with my giant, adorable
All right.
Jeff.
blue eyes. Uh,
Jeff?
yes. No, I don't say anything, but I do when he mentions that. I just sort of do look up at him with my enormous, adorable, cute little blue eyes of innocence.
Mm,
Our duty will likely carry us far from the tournament. We're here to investigate the fallen star.
of course,
Oh,
that comes first.
you're here for the Cross of Crystal. Ah, interesting. Well, we a couple of a few months back, I think it must have been 6 by now. The during those this horrible earthquake, this glimmering star fell from the sky, and but it didn't shatter. It just remained the way it was. And since it was vaguely in the shape of a cross, we've put it in the church.
And this isn't him talking. Um, we've been sent a message, of course, an alert of this fallen item. And was this included that they knew what it was, or that they saw that it was shaped like a cross?
You just know that it was a crystal that fell from the sky during the rupture of heaven, and that it might be linked to what happened during the rupture of the heaven.
All right. We'll have to see for ourselves.
Um, all right. Well, the church is all the way at the top of the hill. Uh, Hopefully, it's not too difficult for you to climb all the way there with this big armor. And like she turns around towards Al, who's probably like been
Hunched
walking around
over.
on, yeah, on almost on his knees to make his way through the end uh, with no problems. All right, my name is Oba. If you need anything during your stay, don't hesitate to call me. I am staying in the first room of the corridor on the left. Do you have any questions?
No.
None. You may go.
All right, have a good day, you gentlemen. And she leaves.
Um. So
Lucas next.
Roy and Al start walking out of the tavern.
Okay.
Luca is just going to like get into the room, look around, make sure it's secure. Put down like their rations and anything that's not integral for a day's journey,
Mm-hmm.
and go outside as well.
Okay.
I'm going to quickly take off the leather armor that I would be wearing for the journey and just get back into like regular little girl clothing.
Okay.
As
Um,
uh, as you guys actually come out, you guys hear Roy speaking,
mm-hmm.
and Roy says, "Yes, I know that there's a cross, and that's interesting. Possibly something that the Inquisition may claim as saintish. And for the first time ever, even during the travels, you hear kind of a ghostly sounding uh, voice coming from Al. Yes, Crystal. I carry back? And Roy nods.
We shouldn't get ahead of ourselves. But hopefully it will be that simple.
Roy nods as well, seeing you two come out.
She said the church was up the hill. We'll go there now.
Okay.
Hopefully.
As you make your way across the village, you can see that word has spread of your arrival. The villagers who've seen you enter the village and who are pointing at you from a distance have now added to their ranks a file of children running towards you and like talking to each other about how it's the first time that they've seen inquisitors here, and like their eyes are full of wonder at seeing like the noble warriors uh, um, who like protect humanity. And a lot of them start to gather around you guys and ask questions of you as you're heading towards the church. Like, have you ever killed someone? What is it like to be an inquisitor? Did you ever kill a dragon? Do inquisitors need to eat at all or not? Things like that.
Roy actually answers each question honestly.
Okay.
So if you want to write down in chat like what all the questions are.
Oh, like yeah, it's more for the role play aspect, but like
Mhm.
okay, so like when they ask you if like if you've killed like if you've gone up against mages and stuff like this, you tell them the truth, right?
Yes.
Okay, got
I have gone against mages, and it has ended poorly a few times. I have killed people. I've never killed a dragon, never even seen one yet.
Luca is like, he looks down at this herd of children and starts moving forward, and then they get in his way and looks down at them and looks back at Roy answering questions. And he'll wait for about 5 minutes. Will they disperse in 5 minutes?
it. Um, as you're starting, as you're like heading there, you see that the priest of this small village of Elm is coming over to greet you as he reaches you. You see, like he bows in front of you and he says, "Inquisitors, welcome. Uh, uh, what brings you here? Have you heard rumors of anything supernatural happening in our village?"
Only the
Uh,
fallen star.
Roy
Oh,
gives a bow, and Al slightly kneels before getting back up.
okay. Um, oh, the star. Well, come this way. And he takes you inside of the church, where below like the cross, you see on the altar this thing, and all of you can see the supernatural. So you all see that it is emanating a sort of faint blue light that only your characters are able to see.
I'm going to look it over and give a chance to my not incredibly amazing occult score.
Okay,
I will do the same.
right.
I don't fumble. but I don't get good.
Yeah, I think Roy, you are aware that there are some crystals that can enhance some types of supernatural powers. You have seen crystals like these embedded in some of the Inquisitors' weapons, the Lawbringers, for High Inquisitors who used psychic powers.
Mm,
And
curious.
yeah, Jeff, you have the same. You have the same like
No.
knowledge.
I am
How
pleased
big
that
is
we all
this?
have a little occult.
Yeah, how big is
Yeah.
this?
It's let's see. It's going to be like it would reach like your waist basically if it was placed on the floor.
My waist?
Yeah.
Okay, so it doesn't look like it's too big for when I steal it later, right?
No.
Okay,
Like you
cool.
you can steal it. No problem.
I'm pretty sure we won't have to steal it. Unless you're stealing it from, the Inquisition itself. But
We will see.
um, I will talk to the priest and I will say, we've been sent by the Inquisition to retrieve Crystal. Would that be a problem?
Oh, not at all. Um, we got used to praying in front of it, but but if it's either a relic or something supernatural, you should either way you should go back to Albidian.
I nod. I thank you for your hospitality and your willingness to proceed.
Okay. Um, and as you're doing this, you hear voices that sound a bit more and more worried the more time passes coming from outside. Um, there and you hear and after a couple of like instant of this Oba bursts into the like the central part of the church and says, sirs, there's something happening at the edge of the village. Um, the farmers are talking about a moving forest heading towards the village.
Al picks up the old woman and puts her on his shoulder. Talk
Wow.
while we run. And then he's bursting off,
All right.
using the old woman as information and a guide to the location.
Okay, she is going to yell panicked, and can you roll? Let's see. I think roll for feats of strength, and just to see if because if you roll too high, you might break some of her bones. Putting
Do
her
I
on.
get a bonus for being enormous?
No,
No.
no. I think just the feats of strength roll should like do in this case. But you
That's
you 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 use
through.
Al's strength modifier though.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Okay, yeah, you're able to carry her, but because of Al's amazing strength.
It would just
But
be 5 more, so it'd be a 41.
okay, so yeah, you're able to carry her, but like not fast enough that it seems to like hurt her old body. And as you make your way out, you can see like I'm gonna put your tokens towards the top.
Can I actually make one thing before we do leave?
Mm-hmm.
He's just going to tell the gentleman with us to lock the cross away.
Okay.
Yeah.
The priest nods and he's going to start dragging the cross along the floor towards towards what seems to be his personal quarters inside of the church. And yeah, As you make your way outside, you're going to see a strange, um, t- 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 a strange group of creatures heading toward, heading across town. So I'm gonna make them visible to you guys.
Should
So,
we roll a cult to know what they are?
yeah, you can already roll a cult to know what they are, but here is what they look like.
I was gonna say goblins, but then I sort of zoomed in. Oh, we know about these, Robin.
Do we?
Oh, and I know about those. Not maybe not my character does, but I do.
So we see both of these things?
Yeah. So the Grendel is this thing right here, and the Gnidium helleborum are plants that are able to move on their own. Um, and some of them have latched onto what's it called? Have latched onto the spines of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 humans that are being maneuvered around towards the with weapons in their hands and they're like at the edges of this group, and yeah, they're heading towards the church and causing a lot of panic. But as they arrive at the point in which they are in the on the map, they're actually going to split into two groups. One of them is going to start attacking the villagers, whereas the rest of them it keeps heading in your direction. Also, all of you see the supernatural, so all of you are going to see that there are thin supernatural lines connecting the Grendel, which is this creature, to all of the other plant creatures around him, and and there's another string of supernatural power linked back to the forest from which they came. As if there's a power connecting the Grendel to all of these creatures and something else in the forest.
Into it.
So, you rolled some occult. So, Roy, you know about the Gnidium helleborum and you know a bit about their origins as well. They are artificially created plants who were designed to basically weaken the forces against the army that created them, and they have deadly spores with a breathable poison in them that incapacitates people, and they can also latch onto any living being that they want and take control over that living being. And they were designed by Ra, who used them in his armies during the War of God. And so were the Grendels. Grendels are humanoids, humans who have been injected with the blood of a lot of different supernatural creatures, including, as the legend goes, dragons, which changed them into the supernatural creatures that they are now. And they were also created by Ra in his armies. So, yeah, that's the extent of what you know about the creatures heading your direction.
How far away are they?
We're gonna say I'm very bad with feet in general, but I'd say that they are now about 30 meters away from you, which
90 feet.
Give me
Yeah.
1 second. Yeah, 98 feet away from you.
Gotcha.
Hey,
Oh my.
that works almost perfectly.
Yay! Okay. So, which so what do your characters do?
My character is actually gonna be able to attack the Grendel this turn.
Well, I'm gonna make a passive action to say, put the old woman down somewhere safe.
No, yeah, Roy's doing this, not Al.
I
Al's
know.
gonna protect the church.
Okay.
Roy.
What what about Gabriella?
Oh, I'm going to wait until. Is Luca moving forward to fight, or is he staying back here?
Luca is going to load up his crossbow and move forward, but he was going to like jerk his head in the direction of the fight and say, "L, do you see your target?"
It's off in the woods.
But there's one closer.
There's only one Grendel here?
There's only
Yeah.
one Grendel, and
Oh,
he's connect. Yeah.
yeah, definitely. So, yeah, I nod. I'm going to stay with him, and when he is ready, I'm going to draw the crossbow out of his bag where he's got it, and then I'm going to shoot, ideally before he does, and I have the no penalty to draw a weapon.
Okay.
Please, could you please roll notice for the Grendel?
Oh, you're asking me to see if the Grendel could notice you guys. Is that
No, my weapon.
Oh,
I'm able to just walk forward because I have a range of 78 feet,
yeah.
and it's only like 90 feet away from me, and my walk speed is 28, I believe, or 26, 26. So I'm able to walk forward enough to be able to do an attack on the Grendel specifically.
Okay. Um, So wait, you're going to start off using directly your artifact as the first thing you do in this combat?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I mean, it's a mix of my artifact plus my normal weapon, but yeah.
Okay. So we're going to roll initiative first, using the your characters started placing yourselves. You've got your weapons ready at this stage. So everybody roll initiative with the weapons that they are currently using, please. And I will do the same.
Oh, very nice, Jeff. Plus 115, nice.
Okay. I think it's and the Grendel has. Yeah. Okay. We're going to do one initiative for all of them.
Ooh, jeez, fuck. That's rough.
What did I roll? Oh, nice.
You rolled
Open
an
roll.
open roll?
Yay. Yes. Yay! I might surprise some of you. Okay.
Nope.
Uh,
They'll still go below me, too.
Okay. So, Elle, you're going to be the first to act. I'm going to put. Just give me 1 second. I'm going to put everyone in the. In. Oh wait, no. Yeah, we technically we need to re-roll initiative every single combat turn, which can be a bit. Which is why I'm not going to use the initiative thing for
Mhm.
Roll20. So, um, uh, Gabriella is the first to act. What do you do?
In one swift motion, I draw the crossbow out of Lucas' pack and shoot the Grendel.
Okay. Um, go ahead and roll attack, and the Grendel seems to have noticed at least the group of villagers that is at the top towards the church, and a lot of them are like looking towards you because you're the only like you get told you're the only like trained warriors in the village. The children are like already screaming in panic and
Sure.
retreating into the church. So
Oh,
go ahead and roll.
So, and didn't we
Okay.
determine that the miniature crossbow has a fire rate of 2?
Yes, it has a fire rate of 2, which means you can shoot it once, and because your what's it called? Because your attack is high enough for that, you can shoot it once per turn because you lowered the fire rate by 1. You make you make it able to fire like once per turn instead of once every 2 turns.
Oh, I see. So it was not a twice a turn, it was an every other turn, but I make it once a turn.
Yeah,
I gotcha.
it's the blowgun that you've reduced it from 1
Oh,
from
right.
like once a turn to be able to shoot it twice a turn.
Gotcha. No, that's fine. I don't want to reveal that at this point, so I'll just do the crossbow, the shot at him. And I'm going to
Yeah.
roll attack.
Yeah. So real quick, there's no poor visibility there. There is just a bit of cover based on your placement. So you have a -40 to your roll, and he's not moving around that much. Yep. Okay. So you're shooting at -40, and he is defending with uh, he's trying to block. Oh wow, that is not gonna
God.
go. That is not gonna go well for him.
No,
Especially
it's
not since
not.
I just open-ended attacked. So
Oh wow. Okay.
Very nice. Very nice.
Wait. I put
Oh,
-80 in the
Jesus.
no. I put -80 in the fatigue section, which multiplied it by 15. That's
no
uh
problem. I got an open-ended on my second roll. Do we keep going?
yeah. You keep going as long as it keeps piling up.
You're capped at 320 unless you have Inhuman, though.
Okay. So slash
Right.
R 188 plus 95 and plus 78. So you do so,
320.
so that's 361. You are able to do 150% of your weapon's damage.
40.
What is your weapon is 40, so you deal 60 damage to the Grendel.
Nice.
Nice. Okay. Is that is not a critical yet, but basically, like, yeah, you plant one of your um, bolts into his shoulder, making him yelp in pain, and you see he focuses his attention on you, and some of the plants around him like start to be more agitated and to hurry their march towards you. But it's not their turn yet.
I would like to
It is.
also, if I can,
Uh-huh.
just take a little sidestep behind Luca.
Okay. Yeah, you can do that. Okay, so next up on the initiative is Roy.
Yep.
So can
Please roll me a notice. Can it see
no,
magic? I
it
assume
can
that it can.
it cannot.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, then it's fully blind.
Yep, he's gonna have a large penalty to defend against this.
Do I get a bonus or no?
You don't get a bonus when the special combat situations give penalties to the person
Okay,
who's
gotcha.
blocking
So
or
it gives me
dodging.
-80. Awesome.
Yep. Uh, oh wait.
That's pretty good.
And it's the second time he's been attacked this turn, so he's actually taking a minus 105 in total to his defense.
Nice. Oh, Jesus.
That's
Okay.
why I wanted to be fast, so that I could get a little attack off, but make him have less defense when you guys hit him with the big stuff.
Yeah,
Um,
he's also on the defensive now because you've hit him, which means he'll be unable to act on his turn, and that is 150% of your weapon's damage.
with the -2 AT from soft armors and -1 from hard armor.
Hmm?
I subtract ATs, 2 from soft and 1 from hard. Is he wearing any armor?
He's I don't know, like he's wearing natural armor, so I think, but because it's his, because he's like got scales. You subtract how much from each?
2 from soft, 1 from hard.
Yeah, I think it counts as hard.
Okay, so just
armor.
1.
So yeah, thank you for reminding me of this. So you're actually doing 120%. Yeah. So yeah, what's your weapons damage?
I deal 90 damage to him.
Okay, and that is a critical. So roll 1d100 plus 90 to determine the critical, and can somebody else roll me a 1d100 to determine the location of the critical? 2.
Oh.
Okay. So there's a lot to take into consideration in these things. So you you beat him by 105. So he suffers an all-action penalty equal to the level of the critical, which is 105. The penalty diminishes 5 points per combat turn, up to half of its value. If the hit is on a limb, it is irreparably destroyed or amputated. If it's the head or heart, the person dies. And you rolled a 2 for the placement, which means that he is being hit on the ribs. So yeah, like your Can you describe what your action looks like to your fellow inquisitors who see the supernatural, please?
They can see it, but I mean, if they want to roll a notice, they still have to roll a notice because you still have to get past that, even if you can see supernatural, which is insane.
Oh yeah, that's.
I'm partially blinded. I can see glimmers in the air.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just is that a very difficult?
L's is very difficult.
Okay, then L can see it. For Luca, it just looks like traces of magic just slicing through the air, through the village. For Jeff, you can see these just thin wires going from me to the other side of the village and just slicing into the Grendel's ribs.
And they're all connected to your gloves, which emit a faint magical aura. Of course, it's wielded by an inquisitor, so it's not exactly magical. It's a holy artifact.
Divine.
Yes. Okay. So the Grendel is almost dead. But he is still alive, and in the initiative turn, I think he's next.
I'm surprised he's actually alive.
Yeah, he still has, thanks to his armor, he still has a few life points, but he's barely holding on right now.
Okay.
He has a minus 105 to all of his actions, so any attack now is going to just finish him off. But he's going to point to you, and immediately all of the plants including those that were attacking villages, are going to focus on your group and charge at you. And meanwhile, he is going to a movement that doesn't require a roll. He runs into one of the houses for protection, basically. And the let's see, the mass is going to charge all of you. So it's there's 50 Gnidium Helioborum. Let's see how much. Have let's see. Actually, yeah, I'm. Who's like more in the front lines? Is it Luca and Al?
Luca is, but Luca, as he sees them, I don't know if you would let me passive move now, since it's not my turn.
Oh yeah, I mentioned you took positions.
Okay.
You know.
Well, L is behind me, and I will say, there's too many of them for me to protect you. Stay back and stay mobile. I'll try to hold them all at the front, and he will try to take that frontal position.
Okay. So, like, basically, do you want to try to stop this mass of combatants? They count basically as an army of 50 level 1s.
Yes. I would like to, as much as I can, stem the tide. Not
Okay.
let them pass me.
So I'm going to roll with the 50 of them concentrating on you, which give me a nice bonus to my attack. Roll for your defense.
Here comes the defense. This is what my character's good at. Oh, I have to remember to use my very special weapon. Would you mind if I spent a fatigue now before I roll?
Yeah, no, I do not mind at all. By the way, guys, the red bar on your character sheet is your fatigue points. So it's not on your character sheet, on your token. So you can edit it on your token or on your character sheet, and it will edit it on the other thing because I've connected them.
Ooh, fancy.
Yeah, this makes it a bit easier to like have you can click on your token to see how much life points you have and how much fatigue and stuff like this. Wow. So so they only pass by 5, which means that unfortunately they wait. No, that wouldn't be enough to put you on the defensive.
It would be because it deals 0 damage.
Okay.
I think like as long as they get slightly more than my roll, they do the defense.
Okay. All right, but basically, like those 50 plants start to try to slash you, to slash at you with their legs, and the humans that are possessed by them are wielding like clubs and staves, and they and despite and like you get to describe like how is Luca holding them all off and taking no damage, but at the same but at the same time like being slightly overwhelmed because you're put on the defensive.
He has his crossbow up. Actually, he has his shield out, his crossbow in his shield end, and a dagger in the other hand. And so he's sort of resting his crossbow on his arm as they come up, but they're a little too fast for him to take the shot. So he sweeps the first blow with his dagger, raises his shield, starts taking all of the little attacks he can. Maybe one of the clubs like swings and goes through the string of his crossbow, so he kind of twists and uses that to pull it aside, successfully blocking, but now unable to fire the bow.
Okay, nice. And okay, so you are able to definitely hold them off, but there's something else that happens. When as they were charging, you could see some of the sort of the balloons that you can see on on their image, just detaching from some of the plants and floating all across the village and bursting as soon as they touch something. And yeah, and your characters start to smell a strange fragrance in the air, and it's a good moment for everybody to roll the first. Let's see, it's going to be poison resistance of the game.
I'm okay with that. Not as much as I could be with physical resistance. Let's see here.
So
That's pretty good.
the difficulty because you're inhaling it, you're bound to inhale it because you're in combat. You're like out
Oh
of
yes.
breath and stuff like this, and nobody screamed. I hold my breath as soon as I mentioned that the you were like popping open.
Well, no,
Um,
I'm asking because you know my reason.
Um, yeah, but you also technically have to make one because the
Okay.
what you're thinking about isn't airtight.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Um. Okay. Oh wow. Actually,
That's gonna help.
both of you passed that
Ooh.
first thing. All of you passed. God damn it. Okay.
It doesn't
Uh.
smell good at all. We're mad.
Yeah,
Ah,
no, like you can see some of the villagers around you coughing and falling to their and some of them falling to their knees, saying that they feel sleepy or dizzy. But yeah, you, the three proud inquisitors that are holding this army back, have no problem at all. This poison would have started giving you penalties at a rate of -5 to all of your actions each turn, and you might still fail on the next turns. But yeah, so far you're resisting the effects of the airborne poison really well. New turn because Luca was put on the initiative on the what's it called,
On the defensive.
on the defensive. So new initiative, everyone.
Do you not like using the turn counter, by the way?
I usually do, but the fact that but it's a bit of a problem because of the fact that we change initiative
changing
like
every
every
time.
yeah.
Yeah.
So all I have to do is remember like about how much like which one is going first and just go off of that.
Yes.
So
Jeff,
uh,
boy,
it's
you.
exactly the same as the previous turn basically.
Yep.
So, Elle, you're the first one to act. Despite the fact that the army is sort of like blocking this section of the path, you know you could find a way around them if you needed to. So, what do you do?
First question I have is I'm noticing something here: defense against projectiles, fired projectiles, which is what
You
I.
might be muted, Jeff.
So first question I have actually is about defense against projectiles from when I shot the Grendel, because
Uh,
I'm looking at it and it mentions that if you're defending with a block against a fired projectile, you have a -80.
yeah, I counted the -80 in my roll.
Oh, okay. So I guess I
Uh,
forgot about how the percentage of damage works, because you said that I had done 150% damage to him, but my attack was like 3 times his defense. It's not a
um,
direct relationship, like however many
then
percentile is a percent of
It
Uh,
every
there.
10
Oh,
is a percentile.
wait. So you did 80. Um, okay. Give me 1 second.
Oh, so I would have killed it.
You did 80 more in your first attack than his block plus an extra 90. So you technically did 170% of your weapons damage, but that was before I counted his armor, which every armor tier lowers lowers
That's
the
by 10.
yeah like the attack by 10 basically. So that's why you only did 150% of your weapons damage.
Oh, damn.
Gotcha. That's what I was trying to figure out, because I got a
Hmm.
total number of 361, and his block
Yeah.
was 108, so I got 3 times. I thought that would be
Well,
300%.
do you have Inhuman?
Um, he does not, but he yeah. By the way, until you have a something that gives you the ability to do higher than inhuman rolls. Your rolls cannot be, your physical rolls, that does not apply for mental rolls, but your physical rolls are limited are capped at 320.
And I thought that was the final roll, not the actual roll. I thought that was the end result cannot exceed that.
Yeah, your final roll with your the final thing with your attack bonus was higher than 320, so it's just bumped back down to 320.
Right.
But I didn't take that into account. I didn't realize it had gone beyond 320.
Okay. So yeah, which building did he run into?
This one right here.
Okay. So then I would like
Oh, I
to
could see him.
yeah, I would like to basically, if I can, cut through this building here.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, I guess that's where we are. We're back here. That's Lucas. So that's where I am too. So I
Yeah.
guess I'll try and climb, jump, run through dive through a building, cut through this building. If I get to
Mm-hmm.
here, is this close enough to this part to like jump off down to there?
Yes, but there's okay. So here are your options. You can either jump or climb. If you jump and you fail the difficulty, which I'm setting at which I'm setting at 80 to make this jump across and avoid like combat. If you fail this, you fall into the water below, and it will take you a couple of turns to get back. But if you fail on the climbing check to just like climb under the like yeah to just climb around on the cliff face. If you fail, you only lose the rest of your turn. You don't fail. You don't fall in the water. So do you jump? And both of them have a difficulty of 80. So do you jump or do you climb across?
I jump. It's more dramatic. I don't care about safety. I care about being dramatic.
All right. Roll for jump, and if you succeed, you get to roll style at plus 20.
Excellent. I was going to ask if we can follow that up with a style roll. I'm going to spend a fatigue too.
Okay. You can spend up to 2 fatigues per turn if you want to get the bonus twice. But yeah.
How much is the bonus again?
It's
15?
Yeah, it gives you a 15. But when you input into the fatigue, you just need to write 1 for the number of fatigues you spent.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. I could use 5 in a turn because of reasons, but
Yeah, you've got the use of necessary energy. I remember.
yeah.
So yeah, you jump across because you were moving through the buildings. The army of plant didn't seem to notice you, and you tumble across and you make it to the building where the Grendel is. Unfortunately, that's going to be it for the number of actions your character can do this turn.
But let's not forget the most important part of my entire turn.
Yes, the
Style.
style roll.
Right. And what kind of a bonus did you give me?
Plus 20.
20.
Okay, you're very stylish. I think you do like a cool like landing where you roll over to like lessen the impact of the fall, and like get up with with your hair flowing in the wind.
Could there be like a small child that's running around behind the building and is cowering in fear that sees me land and roll, and I just turn and look at her and go, shh?
And she's like, with like her hands on her cheek and the like the look of this was amazing. But yeah, she's silent. She remains silent. Okay, next on the initiative turn is Roy. I assume since you rolled your initiative with the
With
strings
Roy.
again, that Al is not moving once again.
No. Al is just protecting the old lady
All
and
right.
the church.
Okay.
Can these creatures see supernatural?
I do not believe that they can. So they will probably have a yeah, they're not able to perceive the supernatural. They don't have, but they don't really have eyes. They don't really have eyes either. So let's see. What did they use for? It does not say what they use for perception. They have extrasensorial vision, so they would be able to perceive an attack, to have a chance to perceive the attack. How much do I have to roll on notice to not be blinded by?
Well, if they can't see magic, then they can't see it, period.
No, but with the extrasensorial senses,
Oh,
they're like
okay.
still able to perceive that something is happening, but they
Very
still have the yeah. So what would be the notice check that they would need to pull off?
very
So,
difficult. Oh wait,
um,
gnosis?
no, the notice
Oh,
notice
okay,
is what I said.
okay. Very difficult.
Okay. Um, I think that's 120 or something.
Very
And
difficult is 140, but just difficult can get them a lowered penalty.
okay, they didn't reach either. So
Oh, so they're fully blind.
yep.
Okay.
Which means their defense as an army is 0 because their defense was like I don't it is usually I do not roll. I just use their defense value as a group. So instead, they like whatever your attack roll is, you do that percentage in damage.
So should I add 80 then?
No. The as I mentioned, when it's
Oh,
only
okay, cool.
penalties to defense. It's not bonuses to attack when you get those things. When you
So
get
this is an area attack, by the way.
mhm. Okay, so did you take the penalty for the
Yeah.
area attack maneuver?
That's why it's so low. It's a negative 50.
Okay. Um, okay, it's a negative 50. How many? Okay, so your I think the strings would count as a large weapon in the case of the.
It counts as a large. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Attacks.
Just give me 1 second. Area attack. Ta, ta, ta. Oh, yeah. The details of the area attack are in this book. So. I just need to check because you get a multiplier for attacking in an area. For when you're fighting against a horde like this.
Oh,
I just need,
really?
yeah, you multiply your damage depending on how many people you've hit. So the fact that you went with area attack is actually like is going to be devastating for the ranks of your enemies. I just need to find
String boy.
okay. Large weapons can attack up to 5,
Yep.
so you're attacking 5 of them, and that multiplies your damage by drum roll times 4.
Times 4?
Yeah,
Okay.
you to go. You did 96 on your attack roll, so that's going to be 90% of your weapon's damage, which would be
Altogether 270 damage.
okay. Oh. Um. Okay. That's it. The combat's over.
Oh
You.
my god.
uh,
Fucking monster right here.
they only had 250 life points. So,
By the way, I just want to point out I rolled a 4 on that attack.
so can you describe to us how your attack with the string weapons just slashes across all of them?
Wait. Well, you don't
No,
slash the
that's-
humans, do you?
No, well, yes, unfortunately. In the Inquisition, there are casualties sometimes, and
I
those
know.
who fall to demons should be purged.
It's I don't think it's a precise weapon, and he didn't use the maneuver to take down, so he wasn't trying to spare the like anybody's lives. Basically, he didn't take any penalties to hold back.
Yeah. I thought they'd have a lot more life points.
Yeah. Wait a second. No, wait a second. They had there's 50 of them, and oh no, my bad. They don't have 250 life points. They have 2,500.
Oh, Jesus, that's a big difference.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I know that we're the Inquisition, but that was fast.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, wow, okay. I thought this was gonna be way more difficult.
My bad. I didn't take
Okay.
like I wasn't. Okay. Cool. They're still alive, but you've
How many did I take out?
based on this, let's see. You took out 5 of them, the 5 that you were attacking
Nice.
with your
So
area.
I take out these 3 humans and then these 2 up front.
Okay.
I'm just holding back the horde. I'm just like, nah,
Mm-hmm.
you're not going anywhere. You're not going to that fucking church.
Okay, so next on the initiative order is me, I think.
But they're on the defensive.
No,
you
you cannot put a horde on the defensive. I'm sorry.
Okay. Shit.
And I think they are going to split their. They're basically going to like keep attacking towards the sides of Luca, but they're going to like manage to reach where where Roy is as well. So I'm dividing my attacks between the 2 of them. So each of you are getting attacked by 25 Helleborums. So please, both of you roll defense.
By the way, I'd like to make it clear that the board does not accurately display where we are.
Yeah.
He is technically the white-haired fellow down there, who is closer, and I am up here
Oh yeah,
in
but
my jumpsuit.
you can move your tokens around.
Okay.
But wait, hold on one second. That's Luca, isn't it?
That is no. I have
Oh,
control of this guy.
That's Roy. I have control over this guy.
Yeah. And I thought Luca was at the front, right here.
No, I guess not.
He
I
was
don't
at the front, and I moved him like over here, thinking this would be the front. But then Roy moved down there.
because I needed to be able to get into distance to shoot, to just slash him up.
Huh?
Anyways, so
Oh.
who's that 250?
Whoa, well.
So yeah, the first attack is going to be against Roy, and the second attack that I'm doing is going to be against Luca. Roy, what is your armor tier against?
5 plus the natural 2. The 2 from absorption.
Absorption?
Yeah.
Like
Every-
absorption always reduces an attack by 20.
Huh.
So
Wait.
they deal 0 damage, I think.
Hold on one second. You mean the absorption like on the combat table, right?
Yes, like the well, I know we're using the core exit stats, right?
Yeah.
They replaced it with that whole long
Yeah,
formula.
yeah, it's just usually like I don't let me have a look at something real quick. It's an AT of 0. It still gets 30%. Yeah. 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 In general, I tend to to still like do the damage, even if it's just a 20% difference. But I guess yeah. Since we're using since we're trying to stay like as focused on the rules of this game in this game, especially for combat, we'll stick with the normal rules. So
They
that so you
all
have you
all
have an AT of 5. So that's wait.
altogether that adds up to them succeeding by 8. However, that is still less than 10, and thus they deal 0 damage.
Uh, yeah, but hold on 1 second.
Okay.
Yeah, they would be succeeding by a margin of 28. So even if I remove the
What about the absorption?
yeah, even if I remove the if okay, give me 1 second. I'm gonna check with the like the formula real quick, and
Okay.
Very
then
good.
I'll get back to it. And 85, 20, yeah. Um, 20.
Gabriella, get off of that tower. This is
Uh,
serious.
no, you're like yeah. According to like the old combat table and the thing that I'm reading, you're still getting dealt 20% of their damage, which is not a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
They deal what they deal. I think that's 40. So 20% of that is going to be you take 8 damage, which is minimal compared to what you did. As for Luca, how much is your armor tier for slashing damage?
That is 4.
4. Okay, so you yeah, you completely like your armor blocks off any attack that pass your defense. But you're put on the defensive once again this turn. Are there any passive actions that you want to do this turn?
I want to drop my crossbow and pull out my short sword.
Okay. All right. And now new initiative for everyone.
I would like to add that for this initiative, because I have to declare it before initiative, I do believe, I'm going to use the special combat maneuver up there down here on the defensive.
Okay.
Which is
So,
funny because I've already technically been on the defensive.
so you're
Negative 2 defense, or is it negative 4?
so wait, wait, are you doing full defense or just the defensive maneuver?
Just the defensive maneuver. So I get plus 10 to my defensive ability and minus 30 to my offensive abilities.
Okay.
That one.
Good plan. Okay, so once again, Alice first, Roy is second. But this time Luca plays before the horde.
Oh man, this is the turn that I shouldn't have been on the defensive.
All right, L, you're at you're pushing against you're like pushing against a wall to make yourself as not as visible, like as hard to see as possible for anyone who's inside of the building. What inside you can hear the sound of thrashing, an inhuman grunt, and the calls for help of a peasant inside. What do you do?
So I believe I've beat his initiative by 100.
Yes. Yes.
Ooh.
I've rolled 70, and you've rolled and you have the blood of Ouroboros, so you
Yes.
have him at surprised, which means he would take a minus 90 to all to defend himself if you against anything on top of his minus 95 to all actions because because of the wound that he took.
And I would also like to try and slip in there quietly and unseen when I slide my stiletto up underneath his chin and into his where I think his brain is probably.
Okay. So I'm going to roll a notice check, and you're going with my with the enormous penalty that I have, and you are going to roll a stealth check.
Very well.
Okay. He has a notice of 60, but he also has a penalty of 95. So he's at minus 35 to notice you.
And even with my terrible roll, I think I still beat him.
Well, that's it. I could open roll.
No.
Or not. So
Oh
yeah.
no.
So he takes a total of, I think, minus 200, minus 95, and minus 90 for a total of minus 385 to his defense.
Can I take penalties to my attack to specifically aim for a very vulnerable area to increase my attack in some fashion?
Yes, in the combat maneuvers section of the
I'm looking at it, yeah.
you have the directed attacks maneuver, which allows you to aim. Which means if you do a critical, it will be a critical in that place specifically, so you won't have to roll to see where the critical landed.
Okay.
So if you're aiming for the head, you could take a minus 60 to your attack.
Yeah, that
Now,
works.
if I may add something additional, stilettos are precise, are they not?
Uh, yes. So you divide the penalty to aim anything and to put at sword's point by half.
So minus 30.
Yes. Also, you succeeded in your role in your occult role earlier. So do you see on the image of the Grendel, there's a tube towards the back of his that connects his head with his abdomen.
Yes.
This is you know that this is a place that is not protected by his armor, and that there's a sort of design flaw when those creatures were mutated from humans to what they became. And it's a vital organ.
Okay.
And aiming it is only is the same penalty as aiming for the head, but it's not protected by
Gotcha.
armor.
And it's will it actually kill him if it's sufficient damage the way a headshot normally would to a human?
Yes, because
He's low HP, I believe, already.
Gotcha. Okay. So yeah, I'll go for that shot then.
okay. So you just roll at a minus 30, whereas I am spending 2 fatigue points for this.
I'm only
But
spending one.
okay. This is 385 to my defense, which unsurprisingly, yeah. Go ahead and roll
Does it?
your
Okay, so
attack
when
roll.
you go negative, does it default back to 0?
It defaults back to 0.
Okay.
It's not giving L a plus. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
So
So
you
you
do
got 150 damage. Oh, wait, well,
percent.
yeah.
Yeah. You do 150% of your weapons damage, which is what's your weapons damage?
This is my stilettos.
Mm-hmm.
So they are 35.
Okay. 35.
50 damage.
Which 35 plus your okay.
No,
Uh,
52.
you deal 52 damage, which is an immediate critical and lowers him below the amount of life points that he needs to stay alive. So you slash across this vital organ and see like part of his brain's fluid leaking through there as it agonizes on the ground and dies within mere seconds. The villager and his child that were inside of the house, thank you so much for saving them from this horrible monster. And yeah, you've done your job as an inquisitor. Next on the initiative roll is Roy.
At 71 on my style.
Roll, what's it called, please? Notice.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so.
Style.
Aha! So I lowered the penalty to only partially blinded.
Okay.
So yeah, which I think still puts me at a defense of 0, and I'm not rolling because I'm a mass, because I'm a horde. So go ahead and
Oh god.
make your attack roll. Are you still doing an area attack?
Yes, I am.
He took
Okay.
the penalty.
Wonderful.
You do 250% of your weapon's damage multiplied by 4 because you're hitting 5 people. So that's
1000% damage.
750 damage.
okay.
For me, it just looks like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Yeah. Fucking auto. Oh my god.
But you're like, no one sees you wielding anything. You're just flailing your arms, and these plants are exploding.
Or getting sliced.
That's more terrifying. Oh god. Oh god.
Yeah, like your character does remind me of the butler in Helsing. With
Yeah,
his with
exactly.
the wires fighting style. Yeah.
I like that guy too.
That's what I was thinking of.
Okay. By the
So
way,
how many explode?
that would be 750. Like basically, you each time you take off 50 life points, you kill one of them. So this turn, you killed 15 of them. I
Oh
think.
my god. Jesus, I have such a high kill count. Oh god.
By the way, for anyone who another thing that works well against masses because against hordes because their defense is fixed is doing multiple attacks onto like area attacks are very effective, but multiple area attacks is even more so.
That's a heavy negative, though. That's a heavy ass negative.
Yeah. Luca, for the first time, it's your turn before the horde.
Yes, before they disperse, hopefully. All right. He is going to try to save some people, and he's going. What is the penalty, rather, for attacking one of these things on the back of a person?
Oh, I think you would be using the maneuver to the takedown maneuver.
I could do that.
Or the knockout. The purpose of the takedown maneuver is to put an enemy on the ground. Oh, yeah. So that knockout would, I think it's knockout that would work in better in this case because it would count as just attacking the plant instead of like to damage it instead of the person.
Would that allow me to deal full damage to the plant? Because knockout usually has me only do half damage to things.
I think it will make you do half damage anyways because you're trying to make your aim more precise than and not hit the human.
All right.
You know, so that lowers its damage.
Thankfully, I do have a dagger. Unfortunately, I am not. I'm on the defensive this turn, so
Yeah.
I have to.
So you take a minus 30. Another aspect is you can combine maneuvers because this is Anima after all. So something you could do is you could do a knockout area attack, trying to
Oh my god.
trying to slash across the parasite plants off of multiple people. But that would mean you would need to take let's see, you're aiming. You would need to take a -60 for the aiming at the head.
Both of my weapons are precise.
Yeah, so -30, and an area attack is a -50, so a total of -80. But that would multiply the damage that you're doing if you want to do that.
Unfortunately, I am also at an additional -34 being on the defensive, which brings me to -110. But I will try that with my short sword,
Okay.
and I'll fatigue it twice.
Okay.
So that brings me back to only a -80, and I have a decent defense.
Mm-hmm.
Or a decent attack. Let's see. That actually brings me to half. Brr!
Okay. You deal 90. You should deal 90% of your weapons damage, then divided by 2.
Alright.
Well, actually, wait. You hit 3 of them, so yeah. Okay, so yeah. Just how much is 90% of your weapons damage?
90% of weapon damage is 45, so it would be 90 damage.
Okay. Real quick. Yeah. Huh? What? Could you repeat that real quick?
Oh, sorry. I said my 90% of my weapon damage is 45.
Okay.
So multiplied by 4 would be 180. Then divided by 2 would be 90.
Yeah. You hit 3 of them. Hitting 3 of them multiplies your damage by 3 because it's a smaller weapon.
yeah. I forgot that I have a small weapon.
Yeah. So you actually divided by 3. No, divided by 2 and multiplied by 3.
Actually,
67 damage.
I must make amends. This is a short arm. It's a small size.
Mm-hmm.
So how much does that deal? How many can I hit with a short arm?
I think it's 3. So the medium weapons can hit 4, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
Let
Well, this
me.
is better than I thought, so I'm happy with that.
Yeah. I can check if you'd like, or you can just take the fact that I'm giving that I'm saying you took 60, you did 67.
We'll take
damage.
that. I think you're right anyways, now that I'm considering. I'll check it later. Anyways, I have another attack. I have this little dagger.
Oh, okay, cool. Because you're okay. So, yeah. So so basically, what you did is that you you took down a couple of them that were attached to people. One of them is dead. The others are damaged.
Very good. I cannot fatigue this one, unfortunately, but I can still roll it.
Okay.
Here we go. No, I don't hit them with that one.
They have a basic defense of 40, so you deal 0 damage, and it is now their turn. They're each going to attack Roy and Luca.
I
once.
have one more attack.
Oh, you. Okay. So you took the -25 to be able to pull off to do the multiple attacks.
Nope, I'm sorry. I have Taekwondo.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to try to crush one against the wall or something. And this is just a single attack on a single enemy.
Okay.
Let's see, that's -30. Plus knockout maneuver, which is -30 against -60, is back to this. Unfortunately, that's half damage of my fists. So
Yeah.
my fists aren't super damaging.
Yeah, I think they do a bit. What's your strength modifier?
Just +10, and I do believe that
Yeah.
Taekwondo has a base of 10.
Okay. Yeah. You crush one of them against the wall, releasing even more spores. So everyone, roll for poison resistance again, please. It's
More
Except me.
spores.
Hmm?
Except for L, right?
No, it's the spores have spread throughout the entire village. It has a very wide reach for this poison. But the good thing is you're going to be able to collect this poison to be able to use it yourself later on.
I was
Oh.
gonna say. I was like, man, I hope Elle doesn't get distracted with all this awesome poison around.
Hmm. So both Roy and Luca pass. Uh, and oh, you missed it by 1 point. You take so basically you inhale a bit too much of it, and you start to feel woozy. On your character sheet on the first page, there's an all action modifier thing. You write down -5 this turn, and every turn it goes up until you're at -100, which is when you fall unconscious. So in 20 turns, your character is going to fall unconscious.
So tell me again, what am I putting where?
Front in the general section of your character sheet, there's an all action modifier
Yes.
right under the resistances. You put a -5 there. Next turn it's going to be a -10. The turn after that is -15. Okay.
Got it.
And the hordes are going to attack Luca and Roy. Please make 2 defense checks.
Double the defense. Oh
So-
boy.
Did the death of the Grendel have any effect whatsoever on all the plant creatures?
Yes, they're now sort of frenzied. You can see a lot of them are confused. Some of them are jumping into the river, into the lake below this, but a lot of them are in like the chaos of combat and keep attacking. But it did break all of the strings coming from the Grendel, and yeah. So, oh, the first attack against Roy. Oh boy. 1d
Oh boy, Roy.
100 plus 265.
Uh,
Oh,
Oh no.
to be fair, they get capped at 320, so
Unless they have inhumanity, they're plants.
oh yeah, they're plants. They don't have inhumanity, so they are capped at 320.
Thank goodness.
Okay, so you did. Okay, so they do 200% of their weapons damage, which is 40, which means you take 80 damage. What's your armor?
Yes, don't forget that.
What's your armor class?
are we counting what's it called?
We don't count. We don't count. Like absorption doesn't count. Like unless if it's a very low amount of damage in. So.
Yeah, like 20% was low amount of damage,
yeah.
but
Exactly.
that still succeeded.
No,
Well,
it's
sorry.
like it's before the absorption was counted. It was something like 38 or 28. So so it went beyond the 20. If it's like under 20, then the attack is does no damage, basically.
Yeah,
So-
no, that's the point. It dealt damage when it shouldn't have because of
No. It did. Don't worry. It did more than 20, so it was able to deal damage. Anyways,
Okay.
armor 5, affliction, absorption of 2, so the
Okay.
armor brings it down to 15,
Um,
and then absorption brings
wait,
it
wait.
down to 3.
Hold on 1 second.
Yeah. I think
No,
Rob,
like would listen. Let me take care of the absorption.
Yeah.
Okay. That is okay. So basically, they would do normally 200%. They only do 150% of their weapons damage, which means they're doing 60 damage instead of 80.
Okay.
Does that take out more than half of
No.
your remaining life points? No. Okay.
No,
You're good.
it's not.
So it is not a critical. And for Luca, you have let's see, 100 and I rolled. Yeah, Luca. This time, thanks to your bonuses being on the defensive, you're able to block the creatures and not be put on the defensive before the new round of initiative.
But I've already
The
attacked this turn, so it doesn't matter if I'm on the defensive or not.
Yep, you are correct. New initiative, everyone.
Okay, I'm not going on the defensive this time. Forget that. Oh, I should have said that before you rolled. Should I go on the defensive?
No, you said it as it appeared.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, don't worry. Like I don't care as much about like announcing things before or after like I roll stuff.
150.
Okay, so once again, L is the first to act. What do you do?
All right, so now these lines, there were lines going, the magic mystical lines were going from the Grendel to the plant creatures, and then there was
Yes.
something going off into the woods further away.
Yes.
Was that line going to any of the plant creatures or directly to the Grendel?
Directly to the Grendel, and all of the lines that came out of the Grendel disappeared the moment he died, but the other one leading to the forest lingered for a couple of instants as his like brain fluid was coming out of the tube on his back, and then it disappeared as well.
Okay, so is there any particular skill that might give me an idea of where or what that might be? Or was that all covered in the original occult roll?
No, you can make an occult roll to piece this one together. I'm giving it a difficulty of 80.
Ooh.
So it's from what you were able to see, because you're one of the rare humans who's able to see the supernatural. Those looked like psychic powers, and it looked like the Grendel was controlling those the rest of the creatures, but something else was influencing the Grendel itself. It looked like a power of the telepathic tree.
Right, but all that I already guessed.
Yeah. What you
I'm
okay,
curious
yeah.
if I was able to get an idea of like, was controlling this Grendel a casual sort of offhanded thought, or was it something that maybe it would have been fully focused? Like, can I get an idea of how powerful that line looked or felt it was?
Not from just yeah. There isn't exactly a skill to do this. There's a psychic power to be able to tell how strong another psychic is, but you don't have that. So
Gotcha.
no, you're at the very least, like it wasn't something a supernatural power that was like very bright, very intense. So it doesn't look like the caster was like an archmage or something like this.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I mean, I imagine I would probably be able to tell better if I actually had that power to be able to gauge what I was looking at,
Yeah,
rather than
exactly.
just making me angry because it's evil.
Yeah.
Then I
So
guess my action is going to be like, okay, so did it disappear or did it almost like withdraw back to wherever its source was, somewhere out in the woods?
it's more like it withdrew.
Oh, then I would like to pursue it if I can.
Okay. First thing that you need to do, I think we can represent this with a track check. So,
Okay.
uh, ta, 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 okay. It's going to be a difficulty 180 to track it because of how fast this is retreating. But if you pass at least 120, you are going to you're going to like have at least like the knowledge of which direction it is.
Okay, I got
Uh,
171.
Okay, so you're not able to track it like back to exactly where it is, but you get an idea of like where in the forest you could find this creature.
Okay, I don't think I'm going to be foolish enough to go into the woods, but I would like to specifically make a mental note of where I lost sight of that string, so I will know the last known point if we investigate it later, so I'll know where we want to start from.
All right. Okay. Um, okay. Next up on the initiative roll is Luca.
Yeah, another surprise. The upset. And this time I'm not on the defensive, so I don't have any negative 30s to sully my amazing stabbing skills.
Real quick, before you do anything, the two of you notice that the priest is calling out to you and pointing to the church. And you can see that there's two Helleborims who who were sent ahead of the rest of the group, who had climbed along the cliffside, and they're now and they're dragging the cross out of the church.
Oh shoot!
Yeah, and the priest is not going anywhere near those things. So
He's a coward. Hold on a minute. How far are they away from me?
they're within your they're within 1/4 of your movement.
Which means they're within throwing dagger range.
Okay.
I know that I said I was gonna use my other abilities to save some humans here, but that cross is our objective.
Mhm.
So I do take the penalty for drawing this dagger, but I will
Yes.
throw it.
Okay.
I might even fatigue this one. However, this will also mean that... No, take this one. I'll fatigue the next one.
Okay.
Well, math is super hard for me right now.
So projectile defense. They still count as part of the mass. So they're gonna have a defense of 0 basically. It's a
Well, this is a thrown projectile. Do they block?
huh?
This is a thrown projectile.
Yeah, but they have a base. They have a like as a mass. They have they block and they block at 40, and it like doesn't move. I don't roll for defense when you're fighting against an army.
I figured these two would be like they would count as something that wasn't part of the group.
No,
But that's
like,
cool.
Yeah. So you do 140% of your of the dagger's damage.
The dagger's damage, I believe, is 40. So
Okay.
yeah, that's enough to kill one of them.
Yep.
I think.
Yes, it is. So 146, 130. Yep. All right. Yeah. You throw your weapon. It kills one of them, and and the other one is just like not strong enough to pull the to pull the cross. What do you do after that?
Now, there is a big confusion about how thrown weapons work with melee weapons, since the rules for throwing multiple weapons are different than attacking multiple times. Would I be able to turn around and use my offhanded attack on these guys?
Yes.
Okay, cool. In that case, I will use... Oh, shoot! I had a dagger in my hand. I didn't even need to take that negative. Doesn't matter. I'm going to use my short sword to swing at these guys, do the area attack thing as last time.
Okay.
So that's a total of negative 50 for the saving people, if there are more people to save, and the negative...
It's a 30 for aiming at the head, and 50 for the area attack.
Yes.
So minus
There
50.
we go. Oh, that's just rolling plus 60. 1 second.
Yeah.
I forgot the import part. Yeah! It's much better.
Okay, yeah, open roll. Okay, so you do 200%. Well, because it gets divided by 2 and
Yep.
multiplied by. Okay, hold on. What's your weapons damage?
50.
Okay, so you do 150. You kill 3 of them.
Yes.
Okay.
On these people's backs. And I don't know if they just flop to the ground. I'm going to try to position myself in front of these bodies if that were people.
Yeah. So you have now freed. All of the people who had plants on them that hadn't previously been killed by Roy.
Roy, the villain.
But
Hey, to be fair,
They do-
I hold a very reasonable state of mind.
but yes, most of them do fall unconscious, and one of them like stays conscious and thanks you and starts to like run as far as she can from the fight. And I guess it's now Lucas's turn. No, wait.
I am Luca.
Roy's turn.
Roy, what is the negative for multi attacks?
You take a minus. I don't go by the core access rules, which
Okay.
complicate this a little bit. It's just a minus 25 to all attacks in that turn for each new attack that you do, and you can only get 1 extra attack currently because you only have a value of 100.
Yep. All right. Please roll notice.
Okay. If I don't do 100, yeah, they have no defense.
Okay.
So are you doing
Multiple area attacks.
Okay.
You just wave your hands all around,
All
So
back and forth.
right. That's 250% of your weapons damage multiplied by 4. So what's your weapons damage? Or if you want to, yeah, what's your weapons damage?
250 combined.
Yeah, well, yeah, they have no armor.
750 again. So I basically just got another open roll, more or less. I just
Yeah,
did the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so /R.
But no, I do hold a very reasonable and very inquisition state of mind. Those who fall to evil are as bad as it, because they're
Okay.
weak-minded.
There's now a lot less of them than when you started.
No
There's
doubt.
okay, so that is 8. There's only 9 of them left, which means that my attacks with them are much weaker. So I'm gonna attack. I'm good. They're going to do an like. Oh no, that's going to be yeah.
Are they all gonna focus?
Um, yeah, I think they're all going to focus on I think they're terrified of Roy because Roy's the one that's been doing the most damage. So they're all going to focus on them.
Plus, they haven't even been able to like see what's making them blow up.
Yeah. This counts as if there's 10 of them, but that's because they're all spending fatigue points.
Gotcha.
Okay, and please roll for defense. Ooh.
All right, no damage.
Yeah, you've got your armor, which brings you to 219. Yeah, they try to pile up on you, but you're just like, but you're able to like stop their movements in midair thanks to your strings moving around everywhere. Okay. New and hopeful and probably last initiative.
But first, wasn't I supposed to take my? Is there another test, or is it just
No,
now?
once you fail the test, you take the penalties start to accumulate. But thank you for reminding me that the other two need to roll for poison resistance.
How could you?
And I'm at minus 10 now, right?
Yes.
I
Is
have
that the
not rolled
reason?
anything under 65.
Oh shit.
Is that the reason why it's messing up all my scores and stats on everything? Because the
Yes.
sheet's adjusting? Okay. I thought
Yeah,
it
the
was.
the sheet automatically adjusts. So Roy, you fail. You start taking penalties, and
Yep, starting next turn, I will start getting sleepier and sleepier.
exactly.
So I gotta
But
make sure that I end this quickly.
mhm. Okay. Am I going to get a nice initiative for once? No.
You still beat
Yeah,
Luca this
actually,
time.
you did get a good initiative. Just we have really high bonuses.
Yeah, you guys are better. L is the first one to act. You wander away from the village in your previous turn, but you're still within range of your ranged weapons. If you start like if your character starts to head back this turn, um, yeah. What do you want to do?
Okay, so wherever I wandered to, am I aware of what's going on all the way up the hill of the church?
Yeah, because it's up a hill, it gives you a nice like on the ground where you are, you can still see the fight happening because of how steep it is.
Yeah,
Gotcha. And
and
that's
you
way
you
out
can
of range of my mini crossbow.
Um, what's your that's debatable. What's your agility score?
My actual agility or my agility's 8 final with an opposed 7.
Okay. Um, so you moved 90 feet during the last turn, basically.
Right. But
So you're
nothing
not.
during this turn.
Yeah, but for free each turn you can move to 1/4 of your maximum speed. So
Okay.
uh, that would be a little bit. That would be like around something like 20. So you can move 20 feet back, placing you at 70 feet away from the like a bit more than 70, about 100 feet away from the army. If you is that within range of your crossbow or not?
I am looking for a range on here.
Okay.
I don't see a range listed though.
It's okay. It's. I think it's probably. It's. How much is the strength of the crossbow?
1 to 8. 1 dash
Uh,
8.
Hold on. Give me 1 second. Basically, the how far projectile weapons go is based on is based on either the strength of the person who's pulling it for a bow or the strength of the weapon itself. The miniature crossbow has the strength of 6. It's in the special column. Um, so that means that your range is basically equivalent to having to as if you had a strength of 6 using it, and that gives you an effective range of. Wait. Mm, uh, t- None. What the hell? Okay, just give me 1 second. That point, the point that is normally the weapon's maximum range, which is the range with the. Okay, wait.
I see miniature crossbows having a range of 30 meters.
Okay, all right, yeah. So 30 meters, and and basically the strength of its strength means that it doesn't give you any bonuses to the range. So you're out of range if you just walk back this turn.
Okay, so But can I see
So
the ones?
what do you do instead?
Can I see the ones that are dragging the cross?
Yes, there's only one of them left, and he's like unable to pull the cross because it's much heavier. There were two of them beforehand.
Okay, then I would like to run maybe like so is there a way for me to get back up here the way I jumped off?
Yes, but the difficulty is going to be 140 to do this because it was easier like jumping from above than jumping back.
Okay, in that case, what I'm going to do is run this way behind this house, trying to
Mhm.
avoid the army itself.
Okay.
Because I don't really think I'm going to be terribly effective at attacking a mass of them like that, but I'm going to try and get up there and put an end to the abduction of that cross. And I'm also guessing they were not trying to drag it straight down the path, were they dragging it over to the edge, like they were going to just jump over the edge with it?
Yep. They
Ah,
were going to throw it into the lake.
yeah.
Okay, so you basically this turn you make your way you start to make your way back. You're not going to be like you're not going to reach the army this turn.
Okay.
Next on the initiative is ta, 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 Roy.
Right.
Where is Roy's initiative?
148.
For some reason, I cannot see. Oh no, it's way up there. My bad.
Please roll a notice.
Gotcha. No, still.
Partial.
Yeah,
It's
but
partial.
yeah, but that still lowers my defense by from 40 to to minus 10. So it still does not. Yeah. Ta, ta, ta.
Everything dies.
Two 230% of your weapons damage multiplied by 4 would be
690.
okay.
Yeah, we defeated the plants.
You've ended the scourge of the um, Gnidium helliborum. You finish cutting through all of them, and you like your characters are now standing in the middle of the village. Like the buildings now bear the traces of your weapons, and you are and you're covered in sap. In fact, it's a sap bath.
I don't suppose my shield is on fire.
No, actually, it would be. They are supernatural creatures. There's a
Gross.
blue fire around your shield.
It could be more on fire.
This is all the fire I need. He's gonna. Now that all these things are dead, he's gonna act like he left all of his like spare clothes back at the inn. I specifically said he brought all the non-necessary stuff at the inn, so I have no idea what he can cover his mouth with.
Yeah, the wind is blowing the rest of the poison away. So, Luca, you are able to stay conscious.
Cool.
But the other two, you're slowly falling unconscious, and so are almost all of the villagers. Um, so, Luca, what are you going to do with everyone starting to fall asleep around you?
Well, he's gonna look. He's gonna like move down the hill a little ways, taking a look at all the villagers and just scouting the area, making sure that there are no more plants hiding
Okay.
somewhere.
Roll for search.
That's my search.
Okay. You do not find any plants anywhere,
And
apart from the ones that are all dead.
yes, very good. Those are the best kind of plant. As he does this, he won't really be too alarmed by all the villagers falling asleep until Roy does, and then he's gonna
Yeah.
move back to the top, or not quite the top, but wherever Roy is, and like shake his shoulder. Wake up.
While Luca was searching the village, I'm using the last amount of time that I have to go and secure um,
The Crystal Cross.
the yes, the crystal cross. In fact, I actually lay Al down like around it.
Okay. Yeah,
Al is
you're
a
you're
very
you're
If you
cuddling
want if
you're
you want this crystal, you have to get above or you have to move a 15-foot hunk of fucking metal.
oh you're using you're using Al for this, not Roy.
Al is a
No.
paperweight.
Yeah, I had like I didn't know you didn't since you didn't specify. I was seeing like Roy cuddling across that was like pretty large. Okay, and what about Gabriella? You feel your consciousness slowly fading. What do you do?
I'm gonna try and collect as much as I can of this sap, and I'm gonna go try to find either Luca to make sure he's okay, or I'm going to find a nice quiet place that I can climb into. But I don't know. First of all, I'd like to know more about the details of this poison. Would that be a poison roll?
Yes, go ahead and roll poison.
Poison is important.
It's going to be a difficulty. Let me say 80.
80? Okay, can I just
Yeah.
take the default since I exceed that? Is that
Yeah.
possible? Or?
You still need to roll in case you do
Fumble.
a fumble.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, so you know, like you have read a little bit about this poison. It's airborne. It's difficult to resist, and it slowly puts people to sleep. You know that the like the like it's a poison resistance of 110 if it's inhaled. If it just touches the eyes and the mouth, it's poison resistance 70. So if someone's holding their breath but still within the cloud of spore, when the bubble explodes, they get it's easier for them to resist.
Okay, so and how do I stop the progression of the poison?
Oh, thanks to your role in poison, you happen to know of a way to make an antidote. Do but I don't think your character would have all of the necessary ingredients. But you know, but you have an awareness of like where you could either find them in the forest, or if there's someone who sells herbs in this village, you could make it possibly before you fall asleep.
You got a minute.
Yeah. So I'm going to do the priests maybe have that? Would that make sense? Unless I saw a alchemist or some sort of herbist.
I think you saw. I think you saw like. Let's see. Let's roll for streetwise at a difficulty of 40. If you succeed, you saw you did notice the person selling herbs here.
Yeah.
Okay. You put some points in streetwise.
Of course.
Oh, cool.
How else am I
So
going to find people that sell poison?
oh yeah, that's right. So yeah, you noticed it when you entered the village. There's a place that sells like herbs, spices, and things like this. And you're always like keeping your eye out for this because that's sometimes the telltale signs of an alchemist or a witch. But yeah, you stumble your way there, and it's taken about like it's taking you a couple more turns. So your penalty when you try to make the anti poison is minus 30.
Okay, so my all action is minus 30 at this point?
Yes.
Okay, I'll change that.
So roll poisons, and if you beat 140, you make the anti-poison in time.
Okay, roll poisons, and if I beat 140, okay.
And you're at minus 30. You succeed. You have one dose. Well, you have a couple of doses. What do you?
I take one immediately. Is it ingested to prevent it?
Mm-hmm.
I'd take one immediately.
Okay. So like the dark liquid that you've cooked like rushes through your stomach and like wakes you up. The taste is horrible and you cough a lot, but you're not affected by the spores anymore.
All right, how many more doses do I have?
Let's say 3.
Okay, that's enough. I will head back out and up the hill towards where the rest of the group was last I saw them.
Okay. Yeah, you make it up the hill. It seems that Luca doesn't seem to need it, but Roy is staggering a little bit, and so I
No,
assume.
Roy sat down in the church.
Oh, okay,
Ah, fuck this. I'm gonna go to sleep.
all right.
He only cares about getting Al around the cross so that it's protected as fuck, and then he can go to sleep.
Is this 3 doses in one vial or 3 separate vials?
We're gonna say that you have like 3 cups.
Okay, I hand a cup to Roy. Drink it.
Roy hands it back. It's not going to affect me.
Good night.
I nod.
I look at Al. I put the 3 doses in a more easily containable container and begin collecting whatever it is that I could use to make the poison. Is it the sap that's all over me?
No, it's the small transparent bubbles on the on the main stick of the creature. They explode upon contact, which means that Roy's attacks have destroyed a lot of them. But there are still some that you are able to collect and store in a way that they don't like explode. Roll for herbology, and every difficulty that you pass is going to give you 3 doses of it.
And I can eliminate that all action mod now?
Yes.
Good. We like that. All right, and you want me to roll herbology? Herbler?
Herblore, yeah. That's the skill set. So, 65. I think you've beaten 2 difficulties. Yeah, you've beaten 2 difficulties. So that means you have 6. You have 6 doses of the poison.
Explosive balls.
So, all right. So, and it needs to be. It's not. Well, you said it would be contact with their eyes, but that's only in the airborne form.
Yes, but it only works when it's airborne, too.
Gotcha. All right. So I'm going to work on trying to affix them to blunt crossbow bolts.
Okay.
Is it too
You could,
large
like-
to go through the blowgun?
Yes.
Okay.
You could, like, have them in little glass bulbs. So it doesn't really matter if they pop, they'll be contained until the glass hits something and shatters.
Sure.
That would be cool. I mean,
Yeah.
that's also glass, which I imagine is pretty expensive compared to most things at this time.
No doubt.
Yeah.
But still.
But we are the Inquisition.
Yeah, the Inquisition requires your glass vials. Thank you for your service.
Yes.
Thank you for your donation.
Exactly. The Inquisition just saved your asses from a Grendel and like 50 fucking plant monsters. Give me your glass. Thank you. Fucking.
It is nice to the Inquisition.
Do I think there's anything useful in the Grendel's remains that I could use or make into anything, or no?
You don't know anything poisonous inside of the. Like you don't know the Grendels to be poisonous or venomous creatures.
Okay. Well, I did see where that magical streaming trail disappeared into the woods. Do we wish to go investigate further?
I would first like to make sure that the cross is secured.
Yep, it's Al. Al is around it, and he's asleep, and Roy's asleep.
But okay, then first we need to wake both of them up. I
Um,
wonder if Al can be deconstructed enough that we can hide the cross within his body.
Unlikely.
We'll have to ask Roy.
We don't have to ask him. He's asleep.
Yeah, I know. We need to wake him up. Wake up! Shake, shake, shake.
No, we can just do it.
Do what?
Conceal it inside of Al. I mean, they're both asleep, right?
I don't want to.
You're gonna have to move the
Shh.
15-foot
But you're
hunk of
sleeping.
metal, and then move the fucking
Right.
cross.
Shh. No, but you're asleep, so.
Well, yes, no, I'm saying out of character because Al is completely wrapped around this thing.
Well, I don't really have any. I'm not really worried about doing that without his knowing. I would be worried about damaging his construct and lowering our combat efficiency.
Oh, absolutely.
So we should probably get the person who knows how it's built to insert the cross if possible.
So I'm guessing, though, that there's, at the very least, he can carry it along with him. But do we want to go
Mhm.
investigate the where that tendril disappeared to?
Yes.
All right. So I'm going to go get changed for that. If you want to stay here.
Okay.
Unless you want to
Yes.
go and just bring me back my armor. The only thing I needed was my armor. So if you needed to get anything, you can just bring me back my armor, and I can watch him while
Oh,
he's asleep.
yeah, you watch him
Okay.
and try to wake him up if you can.
Gotcha.
Okay, I will go and I'll get that. I'll also get one of my undershirts to wrap around my face in case we fight more of those guys.
So that's my hide roll. I'm going to watch them, but I'm going to find a place where I can hide and watch them. So if anyone does come, they will not see me, and I will hopefully get the jump on them.
Nice. Thank you.
All right. Anything happen while we're on our separate little mission? Simon is quiet.
He's mute.
Yes, both of you roll for psychic resistance, please.
Everybody?
No, not Roy. Roy, roll for poison resistance.
All right.
Thankfully, it's not magic, and he has willpower. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
Hey, that was a good one.
Thank you.
Oh wait, hold on. It should be 5 less. Sorry.
Was I
Still
supposed to roll a psychic resistance?
Yes. Yes, please.
For some reason, Jeff, whenever you roll something, it sort of fades in slowly. It doesn't just appear.
Yeah.
Yes, because I use the dynamic dice rolling, so I can see the dice rolling across the table.
Oh, okay. That is cool.
So Luca, you resist. K and L does not, and Roy. Roy, you wake up. Roll psychic resistance. Oh wait, no, sorry. Yeah, no, sorry. Luca, you
Yes.
rolled psychic resistance. Wait, no. Yeah, no. Roy, wait. Okay, I got it. Roy,
Take your time.
I asked you to roll poison resistance instead of psychic
I did.
resistance.
I know, but it's just 5 less, so it's a 115. That's my
Okay.
bad.
That's okay. You wake up, and since you're awake, roll psychic resistance.
Did it roll?
No.
There it is.
And now it's dead. So, okay. Um, by the way, all of you can see a sort of wave of supernatural energy just um, making its way through the village, and you see what looks like more threads, like the ones that were touching the Grendel and the other creatures, but now they're woven in a sort of spider web, like in a spider web pattern, and you can see that it manages to that it latches onto the heads of different people who are sleeping, and everyone except Roy, which is pretty convenient actually.
Could I,
Wait, no, no,
could
no,
I,
no. You failed that check. You failed that check. So it latches onto everyone's head except Roy's and Luca's. It latches onto what's his Al's head as well.
could I roll a cult to know what it is?
Um, yeah. As it fades, like it fades almost as soon as it's started.
Yeah.
But it's you think it's a sort of it's a detection power. It's a power that's able to detect minds.
Hmm.
So seeing it, there's no chance to try to physically dodge it from touching us?
You could only dodge it if you were able to get out of the area of the spell or of the effect with your movements. And we established your movement was 90 feet, and I cast it in a 150-foot radius. So
I will.
you wouldn't have been able to dodge it. Someone with block could have been able to block it. You weren't expecting it. That's why I didn't have anyone roll for defense.
Ah, gotcha.
I would
Yeah, I
like.
just woke up. If I would have been up, then I could block it myself, but
Hmm.
yeah.
I would like to just do this occult check. Okay, cool. This is for
Nice.
me knowing what it is,
Yeah.
so that it makes sense for me to like double foot it back when I see this happening with the stuff, and I enter the church. Is this all right? Can I keep going with this?
Can you? What do you mean? Keep rolling?
Like nothing's gonna happen. I'm not interrupting something else that's
Oh yeah, yeah.
happening.
No, no, no. You make your way back to the church, and almost everything is as you left it, except that now Roy seems to be awake.
Okay, but also, Elle has spider webs on her head,
And
Yes.
Al.
and Al. Okay, and can I look over into the distance and see where these are going?
Yes, they all seem to be coming from like the edge of the forest,
All right.
and now and as it fades, it looks like the point of convergence of all of the web is moving backwards away.
Okay. He's gonna say, Roy, you and me, we're gonna go now. Elle, you have to follow later so they don't get suspicious.
I have to stick with Al. Al has a detection on him as well.
You can leave him behind.
No, I can't.
Explain.
I'm sorry that there's so many inconvenient things to what we're trying to do with your character in the very first game.
It's all good. I completely understand. And I knew that this would be a thing. Al and I are tied.
He's not just your puppet.
No.
Well, then I guess I have to go. All of you, wait 5 to 10 minutes and follow me.
Understandable.
Mark your trail.
All right. and he's going to set out as quickly as he can without tiring himself after the trail.
Okay, you make your way. You make your way towards the forest, and there you're going to notice that there's trails on the floor where the plants came from. Like it's a very recognizable pattern, especially when there were 50 of them. But on top of this, there's also the Grendel's footsteps and something else. The mark like a trail on the floor that seems to be like what's it called? Like knives were planted into the forest's muddy floor, and it starts to move away from the edge of the forest. Um, and yeah, but it's somewhat hard to track. So if you want to track it, you're gonna have to roll for track at a difficulty of 80.
At a penalty of 80?
No, basically you need to reach 80 or
Oh.
more.
Easy.
And if
Maybe.
if you haven't put any points in the skill, you're at minus 30.
I have lots in the skill. Well, not lots, but some in the skill. I get 142.
Sorry about this.
That's
So
okay.
yeah.
Take your time.
Oh, sorry, I muted myself. I was doing an entire description here.
Oh, shoot. I'm sorry.
No, it's my fault. I've got to be like more careful about this. But yeah, you track this trail deeper and deeper into the forest, and it starts getting darker and darker as you make your way there, and until the point where you where basically you're going to see those like this silver blue web pattern like of psychic energy rushing towards you.
Shoot.
So you're not surprised, and you're able to see too. You don't have any penalties. So roll for a block. I think.
Yes. It is block. I have a very nice blocking shield.
Okay.
Oh, fumble of 1.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Roll 1d100.
Boom. A small fumble, but a fumble nonetheless.
Yes, and that is enough for me with my really
To
poor roll
succeed.
to successfully hit you.
Oh,
Okay. Roll psychic resistance, please.
Will do. Let me go over here. Boom. 108. Awesome. Never mind. Go ahead.
Okay, 150. Okay, so you wouldn't have had to dodge this. So you wouldn't have had to dodge this one because I would have failed this one.
Oh. I am okay to do this however you want. Maybe if you want, we can all roll for the next one.
No, it's okay. I'm just going to roll my potential again and hope that this time I don't fumble.
well, you have to roll a fumble to see how much fatigue he
Didn't
takes.
fumble. He didn't fumble. It's, for some reason, the potential thing always says you fumble no matter what.
Yeah, it always
Oh,
looks
gotcha.
red. So 182. So the difficulty was 160, which means that you failed by. Oh, by the way, Luca, this is a moment to showcase your free will. This is an attempt to attack your mind in order to take control of it. So your free will takes effect.
Does that alter my old roll or a new roll?
I'd say it gives a plus 30 to your psychic resistance check.
Well, it actually says it gives a plus 60.
Oh, a plus 60. So you beat the check by 8. You're able to resist the attempt to attack your mind.
Yes. Nobody controls me again.
Okay. So yeah, I think you have this like flash of memory of you remember the dreams you have where your mind is not your own to control, and where you're like trying to fight for years and even decades this influence that's taking over you. And like that's the remembering that dream that you keep having, you push through the influence of the spider web on you, and you are able to keep control. What do you do?
All right. I'm going to dash forward towards the source, and if I cannot see it by the end of my dash, I would like to take cover behind a tree or something.
Okay. So you take cover, which is going to give you a +4, like a -40 for my projection when I try to hit you again.
Yes, hopefully I won't fumble this time.
But you do not see the source by the end of your dash, because the source of the power is now coming from above you. You take the flank penalties for this defense.
All right, let me. Oh, you have them all set up here. I can just do that.
Yep.
Thank you. Flanking is there it is. So I get -30. So I'm at a small bonus for hiding behind this tree.
Okay, and I'm going to spend my last 2 psychic points to give me a bonus to my projection. So, okay, roll for your defense.
My defense is gonna be. Oh, that's not -30. I get 151. I'm sorry.
Okay, that is sufficient for you to put your shield in front of where the attack was coming from, and you completely block it. Looking up, you see that in a spider's web there is this giant creature above you that has many eyes, many legs, and an oversized brain that has like swelled out of its cranium. This is what it looks like.
I like that.
Hashtag Megamind.
I have not seen that, so I've heard it's good.
It's a movie.
It's very good.
Yeah, I guess where there is a there's a pause. We're going to roll initiative, but just before we do this, there's a wave of psychic energy, and you let's see, can you resist mental communication? No, you cannot.
There's some. I cannot quote it, so you can totally say no. There's supposedly a resistance thing that if you decide to resist something that is beneficial, even you can with a 120, but that was only for spells that I've read that. So I totally don't mind not resisting mental communication.
But in this case, like it's the only way this creature has to communicate. So I think the best option is to is just to let you hear whatever it says, and then you can block the communication and just roll for initiative instead if you just want to fight instead of communicate. So
Okay.
it says, no, Inquisitor, your will is stronger than mine. I give in. Let me live. Let me escape out of here, and I will tell you why I was looking for the crystal.
All right. He doesn't know that he can communicate. Well, he might actually know he can communicate back with a cult, but he is going to say it aloud anyways.
Mm-hmm.
He is going to say, "You have taken human lives. Whatever your reasons, whatever your motives, you will die squealing here."
It shrieks in fear, and you can see that it tries to move towards like one of the trees and toward one of the tree trunks and shoot web, and like it tries to shoot webs across the branches to like flee while staying like above your head.
All
So
right.
let's roll initiative.
Initiative, and I get in my crossbow, so my crossbow lowers my initiative.
Okay. This is going to go well since you have a crossbow.
He's prepared for everything except for damage-resistant creatures. He's not prepared for that.
Okay, you're the first to act. What do you do?
I shoot it with my crossbow.
Okay. By the way, you know it's easier to just click on the initiative button in on your character sheet than to have to type it every time.
Oh, I don't type it. I have a personal macro.
Okay. Okay. So roll for your attack.
Oh, right. On this, I will click on the thing for.
I'm spending 2 fatigue to get out of here.
Good. This is a smart Spider-Man.
However, we are also coming up, so
Yeah.
we'll probably get it. We'll pincushion it.
Yep. Very
Maybe.
probably.
149 or 59.
Oh, it's a dodge.
Yes.
Why did I put it in attack? So it's a projectile that I am trying to dodge, which means I am not this one. Defense against projectile. Aha, here it is. I'm at minus 30. Oh joy, this is going to be so easy.
He does dodge, though. That's pretty good dodge.
Yeah, it dodges out of your out of the way for your crossbow, and it's going to shoot back as it flees. Shoot back a like a psychic power at you. So.
All right. Where my block right here.
Mm-hmm.
Good one.
First of all, I got to roll potential to see if I even succeed.
Oh, dang.
Ooh.
It's going to be strong if I don't block it.
Oh no. Oh no.
Okay, 264, which means 264. It's going to be a difficulty of 180 psychic resistance.
I still have an over 50% chance to resist that. Well, if it's what I think it is. I don't know what it is.
And projection. Oh, you blocked it.
Dink.
All right. So I think it's around this time. The other two, I'm going to ask you to roll initiative now, as your characters are arriving at the scene. Basically, Luca is pushing the spider back towards where you are. So everybody roll initiative.
Okay.
Roy and Al are at a 0.
Okay.
For some reason that... Dang it. Can't stop thinking about Spider-Man now.
Spider-Man.
But that makes me want him not to die. And I mean, I don't really want him to die, but Luca sure does.
Okay. You know what? I'm just gonna straight up try to mind control someone. Because that's like
Do it on Roy.
No, that would be bad.
Let's see. Can someone roll 1d2? And if it's a 1, I'm going. It's going to be cast on L. Okay,
Oh,
it's
boy.
L. So L, you can dodge this one because it's not an area power.
Okay.
It's a block.
So go ahead and roll for your defense first. And
I'm gonna laugh if I just fucking shatter it.
That would be pretty. Well, I would like that, but oh no,
Well, is it L or is it Al?
it's oh.
Okay.
yeah,
I
it's
think it's,
okay. So Jeff's character is L, which is the short version of her family name. Her first name is Gabriella.
Okay.
Okay, so you need so you get hit by this psychic power straight in the face, and then you feel something trying to grab your mind and stop it from moving, stop your thoughts completely. You feel like you're in a spider's web. Roll psychic resistance.
C 100.
Yeah, difficulty 100.
uh oh.
All right, that's a fail. Who's next on the initiative turn?
I got a
Da-da-da-da.
question though.
Yes.
There's something I don't understand. So we don't even know where he is or what's going on. I mean, were you? I mean, is this creature somehow well aware of where we are before we come into the area where it actually is? Is that what's going on?
It has a psychic power. The psychic power that I used earlier was an area scan, and it cast it to be able to detect spirits. And when you failed your resistance check, you became it became aware of you. It became aware of who was asleep or and not. And basically, like as you're making your way back, you're because I'm asking you to roll your initiative. You're now like in the area of combat. Like it sees you, you see it. You're seeing it like trying to make its way from trunk to tree trunk.
I see. Okay. Just for future reference, I don't run into the area where the creature is. I would have advanced, let them go in
Oh
front of
yeah,
me, and I would have gone into hiding because I'm not
yeah.
looking to do a direct engagement. I'm willing to sacrifice maybe a round or two so I can use my ability to get in position. And so
That's that is a very good point. I'm sorry I didn't take this
that's
into
okay though.
consideration. I think next time I'll roll for perception while you roll for stealth. But I think this time it got lucky and it stumbled exactly on where you were sneaking. Is
Okay,
that
yeah,
fine?
yeah, no problem.
Okay. You on your initiative, you're going to want to kill your friend, the other inquisitors. But who's on the initiative beforehand?
That was said so just chipperly.
Yeah, no, I mean, like as a game master, I often I repeatedly want to kill my friends in every game that I play with
Yeah,
people.
that
It's
is
it's my
true.
it's my job. I'm just sharing the fun with Jeff now.
Um, I believe that it would be Elle's turn next. Unfortunately, I think that Roy and Al are surprised this turn.
Yes, well, you were surprised by. Oh, yeah, you would be surprised by the blood of because El has the blood of Ouroboros.
Well, I was
And
going to say surprised by the spider. I didn't think of that, but you're right again.
yeah, um, yeah, El, it's your turn. You're the next one to act. How are you going to proceed?
So is this just in a general I want to kill my friends, or is this like reversing my feelings towards them kind of thing?
Um, Basically, you're under your mind is under control. So you'd be ordered to dispose of your friends, or at the very least, like in an efficient way, in a way that you'd think you'd be able to succeed, or at the very least, distract them long enough that the spider can escape. That's what you're yeah, and it's like in fully in control of your thoughts in the sense of like you really want to allow that spider to escape.
Gotcha.
I
Well,
think that
Oh wait,
the reason I'm
wait, just
Yeah.
1 second. I need to
Okay.
check one thing though. I need to check if you get a bonus because you are an inquisitor and you hate letting you absolutely hate it when those creatures get away. You apply a plus
Oh
20 to your
yeah.
psychic resistance if you receive life endangering command or any command that would subject you to extreme action. Protecting a supernatural creature would be an extreme action, but your psychic resistance, so that would be a plus 20, and your psychic resistance was only didn't wouldn't have allowed you to resist. Wait, no, plus 20. You beat it by 3 points.
All
I
right,
was
so you're not. All
Yeah.
right.
So for a moment, I have this vision of slipping a stiletto into both Roy and Al simultaneously, and then I shake it off.
Yeah, like, and then just the fact that you were given such an extreme order made you break out of it. Okay, so it's your initiative. What do you do?
How far is that thing from me?
Um, I'm gonna say 30 feet.
And how high up in the air from me is it?
Like that's counting how high up in the air it is.
How hard does it look like it would be for me to try and run at a tree and it's on and use my momentum of moving forward to sort of run a step or two up a tree and
Uh,
get a chance to attack it?
um, you'd need to roll a climb check of difficulty 40 to like to make your way up the tree. But that would mean that would or what the hell? Okay. Sorry, I've got something that's happening.
Yeah, because I'm going to do that to the Legor. What that sound?
sounds like somebody's like
Okay, so there is somebody repairing the wall right next to where I'm doing this game.
sounds like somebody viciously mashing potatoes.
I guess you can try
Y-
out that taser you have and haven't got a chance to use yet.
no, I think this person is working for the place where I live, and I don't really want to do that. So, okay.
Stealth.
Mhm. So real quick, so it's either going to be so I was thinking, so it's either going to be two actions, one where you run and one where you climb, and the difficulty is easy, or it's a jump check at a difficulty of 120, and it's only one action to move there. I think your character can only do two actions, which means that it's that you can either have it easy and you can't attack this turn, or you have to jump and you will get an opportunity to attack this turn.
You know what I think I'm going to do is I think it's time. I'm going to. The only people here are Evil Monster and trusted allies, so it's time for the blowgun action with the poison on it.
Okay. Go ahead and roll to attack. Have I been attacked this turn yet? No, so I don't have penalties to dodge.
Okay, so I'm going to do the 2 attacks, which I can do with the blowgun.
Okay. Yes, and I am at a minus 30 to dodge them.
I believe it's minus 80 against fired projectiles.
No, I'm dodging.
Okay. Oh, okay. It's not
Not
minus
block.
80.
The minus 80 is if I was blocking.
Oh, okay.
God damn, that's a high ass dodge. Nice.
It's rolled pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh, but that's
Oh.
also a very good attack.
Well, unfortunately for you.
And the second one should be 90 instead. because it's the second attack. I'm getting this. Since you're attacking twice. Wait. No, actually, I don't think you get penalties for this. It would make sense. Just give me 1 second to check something real quick. There are so many rules with this game. Anyways,
Yeah.
Multiple ranged attacks were actually not updated in Core Exit. I always thought it was just negative 120 for every point of fire rate you decreased it by.
So every 100 points in attack that you have allows you to do another attack. But brain project, real time and rate of fire. Yes. So you have a minus 25 on both of your attacks to do 2 attacks, just like you would if you were doing 2 attacks with a single weapon.
So the first attack then becomes a 205.
Oh yeah, so that was
205.
Yeah, so you did 205, and okay, so 205. That is going to be 40% of your weapon's damage, and then. And then you can make another attack roll.
Okay, also at minus 25.
Yeah. What's the blowgun's damage?
Just a second.
Yeah, take your time. You're good.
You'll hit 11% or 110% of damage.
40. So that's
Okay.
So that's 40 and 50. So yeah, what's the weapon's damage?
25.
25. Okay. So yeah, you plant 2 darts into into the creature's abdomen. Roll. Yeah. So what's the poison resistance I've got to do?
We don't have a handout for that?
Oh, yes. I didn't do the handout for this one. I think. What was it called? The one that I told you that you could get that was instant action. Was it?
It was the one that's instant and cut or blood induced one.
Yeah, blood.
I forget exactly what it was called.
Little side note, did you ever complete your open roll up there?
Yes, he rolled a 7 afterwards.
Oh, wow.
Which made it, yeah, which made it 229, but then you have to minus the 25.
Yeah.
So 204.
Okay.
I looked down at your name icon and it just says El Jeff. Like Senior Jeff.
Blood.
It's the Jeff.
Yes.
Spanish.
El Jefe.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Maybe Jeff.
I forgot that.
All right. I'll bet it. Okay. So it's a difficulty of 100 to the poison resistance, and Ligor has a poison resistance of 50. So I have a 50% chance of succeeding this one.
Twice.
Yeah, and I've got to roll it twice. Wait. Cancel. No. It's 20. Okay, here we go. So I failed the first one, and failed the second one. So it's yeah, it's so you hit it in the abdomen, and you can see that it starts to like shake in pain, and as the poison starts to like course through its system. I failed by 1 and 11. So yeah, it's starting to deal damage to it's screaming in pain, and you can feel it as a sort of like a psychic blast hitting all of you. It's as it's it's sort of trying to redirect its own pain towards you, but that will be something it does on its own turn. Next up on the initiative is
So Roy,
Luke.
Roy and Al, this is my lawbringer. So you basically, for the first time, see her reach for the little spike she's got, holding her hair up in a bun in the back, and at an impossible speed, hence why it's got the impossible speed. She just takes this out almost effortlessly and pumps out the two things, and then puts it back.
Is
So
this actually the first time Luke has seen it?
no, Luca would have known this before. I'm assuming
Okay.
we've been around on several missions, so you would probably know this.
I might
So
have
yeah.
seen you get that legislator.
So it's a combination of not only is it moving at this speed, but also I have Bato Yajitsu, so I also effortlessly withdraw it and fire it.
Okay. Yeah, so you have no penalties at drawing your weapons. That's cool. Luca, you're next on the initiative. What do you do?
Luke has to speedily reload his crossbow. It takes a negative 25 to a shot because he had to do that, but he will fire again. And I'm actually going to say, it sort of depends on you whether or not he can do this, but he is going to berserk. And he, when he berserks, he's not generally a raging, screaming berserker. He acts like one. He just fights forever. But when he berserks, he generally gets very quiet.
Okay. So that means you. There's a good chance you won't be able to distinguish friend from foe, if I remember this correctly.
This is correct. However, he has enough willpower that he can passively escape the berserking state when he wants to, unless he is below a third of his HP.
Okay.
In that case, he gets a penalty which might have made him uncontrollably rage.
Okay. No, that's it's good that you made your character like able to control yourself like this. Okay. So go ahead and roll.
He is all about self-control. Okay, so he's going to make his attack. He's going to. I think technically you can fatigue range shots, but will you let me? I always found that weird.
Technically you can, because so yeah, I'll allow it.
Okay, double fatigue plus 10 attack.
Okay, so this is my third attack of this turn, and it's still a projectile, so I'm at minus 80 to dodge.
I'm at minus 25 to reload. So that's 155.
And I rolled a 4. Joy.
Oh boy.
Okay, you do 170% of your weapon's damage.
That is 100 and no. What am I talking about? 100 is 50, and 35. So 80, 85.
85 damage.
Yes, I'm sorry for this confusion.
It's okay. It's okay. It's a critical roll. 100 plus 85.
And he is going to start muttering under his breath, "Are you still in my mind, monster?" And he's going to start thinking of all sorts of horrible things that are going to happen to the spider.
Oh boy.
May I roll an intimidate check with that?
Yeah, sure.
All right. That's not a great roll, but it's fine.
Okay.
I got 185 critical.
It's not in your mind.
Okay, so he's just talking to himself then.
Yeah.
Oh well.
My physical resistance is 50. All right. Okay, you beat it by 50, so that is a critical. I don't think it's a placed critical though.
No.
At just 50. It's because it suffers an action equal to the level of the critical. So I have minus 50 to everything I do, and it's now Alan Ed's turn. James, I think you might be muted. Yep, you're muted.
Boy, you know
Hello.
I'm about to smash.
But you're surprised by it too.
Do I take negatives for that?
I think no.
I think
If
it's
it
bonus.
if it had acted against you, you would have taken minus 90 to your first reaction against it. But
Gotcha.
it didn't use that opportunity to attack you. It used it to attack Gabriella. So
Gotcha. So, you guys see Al, the hulking beast, pull a giant two-handed, two-sided axe from underneath his cape.
okay. Yeah, that's your legislator, and
Yeah.
okay, you are tall enough with Al to attack the creature, despite the fact that it's inside of the trees. That's like on top of them, and okay. So I'm at minus 50. It's also the third attack this turn, so I'm at a minus 125 to dodge it,
Nice.
which means
Can you? Oh, well, you're 15 feet tall. You're probably the best one to reach it.
This is the fourth
Mhm.
attack he's suffered.
fourth. Oh,
Yeah, because I attacked him twice.
yes. So I do only. Yeah. So you do 170% of your weapon's damage.
A 306 damage.
You cut it in half.
Okay.
Its head and part of its shoulder and one of its legs falling in front of you. The rest collapsing in a writhing mass of spider legs to the side.
By the way, I wanted to say that I took that attack with a negative 25 because I counted that as my additional attack because I was going to trap it with Roy.
Oh, too late.
Too late.
So I would have dealt more damage, which is terrifying.
And you can feel its last thoughts being. I really thought you humans would be easier to take care of. Now that the mind control power over all of you has been lifted, but you're more dangerous than ever now that you have free will. And the last thoughts that you hear coming from the creature is a curse towards humanity, as its mind ceases to exist. And you're victorious.
Everyone else has their weapon. Al pulls out his weapon one time and ends it.
I have pulled out several weapons, all kinds of weapons. Actually, my dagger's still back at home, stuck in a plant. Shoot.
I don't have any weapons out. What are you talking about?
That's true, actually.
True. You don't.
I wasn't even
You put
here.
it back.
Everybody roll for occult at a difficulty of 120, please.
I get lucky. I did not get lucky.
I have to get fairly lucky, and I got shit.
Everybody got unlucky.
Oh my god, especially
Elle,
Elle.
what do you think? I love fumbles and knowledge skills.
Elle's probably just embarrassed that she had to use her special weapon in front of a new guy.
I love the fact that the table on the chat area is telling me I rolled a 2, while the dice that I'm looking at on the table indicate I rolled a 60 something.
What the fuck?
Okay.
64. Yeah, no, it's a glitch that happens sometimes.
Okay, that's weird.
That is unfortunate.
Yeah. That is really unfortunate because, so I will not be giving out That's information. And,
Right.
okay. So what do you do?
I want to
Al,
recover
roll a
my
cult.
2.
Hmm?
Al, roll a cult.
No,
Um,
Al doesn't
okay.
get an occult roll.
I was making a goofy joke. Go ahead.
I want to recover my 2 darts.
Okay.
I know the poison's off, but at least it's 2 darts. And speaking of poison, I'm going to begin looking over this creature to see if it has the poison that, judging by its appearance, might be a logical assumption that it somehow does have a poison.
It's good that you thought of it because you failed the occult roll to be aware that it has a powerful poison in its glands.
Did you, for a moment, think I was not going to do a check?
Yeah, I
I
figured it did.
I
That's why I
put two
wanted to kill it quickly.
I put 2 creatures with weird poisons in the first session because I thought I'd give you some munitions for what is to come. Um,
I'll sure
I'll
you make sure I use it up as quickly as you hand it out.
This poison causes complete paralysis if a target fails a resistance check of 100, and it can be put directly on your weapons. And you're going to have roll for poison, and every success, every difficulty that you pass gives you 3 doses of this.
Oh, jeez. You
Again?
fumbled.
Jesus,
Oh.
unbelievable.
No.
Roll 1d100 to see how much you fumble by, and that is going to decrease the number of things that you have, doses that you get.
Oh my
Okay.
god.
Well, it's not. It's major. It's not critical.
Yeah. So you still get uh, you still get 9 doses of the poison.
Excellent.
Okay. It is now 3 o'clock. I think we've been playing for 4 hours, so that's this is going to we're going to start concluding this first session as your characters make their way back towards civilization, towards the village, where to where the cross is. Um, and yeah, to decide what all of you are going to do with this mysterious artifact. Um, I hope everyone had fun. I thought there was going to be a little bit less I thought that the average time was going to be like a little bit less combat than it was, but I still had an enormous amount of fun because you all have different fighting styles, and the encounter I designed like showcased all of your specialties and stuff, and like
Mhm.
this was like a really fun first session for me.
I thought so too. Like we all got to do our own special things during the time we were fighting.
Yeah.
I only got to do his at the very end, but it was still something.
Yeah. So like this is just a regular day in the life of an inquisitor. And wait, did any of you get? Oh yeah, some of you got a little bit damaged by the attacks, but overall you made it out like pretty unscathed, despite the fact that I put 50 level 1s against all of you. So like I'm glad this turned out the way I wanted. I really wanted to have like to make the first fights feel really epic, to show how powerful like characters can be in this game system, and how much like a level difference can impact the combats.
That is true. And for all people at home, we're level 4.
Yep.
Yay, level 4.
Well, we didn't just level up level 4. We were level 4 the whole time.
That battle could have gone way worse if we didn't have area attacks, though.
Yes.
Yeah,
I was
that
actually.
would have taken much longer.
Yeah, if anybody wants any of those doses of poison, I can hand them out if you want.
Oh god.
I
just thought
wouldn't mind just one of my daggers having one of those poisons.
I would be the most useful for it.
If you could make an area attack with poison strings, that would be
You can.
crazy.
5 people paralyzed instantly.
If they weren't
Fuck
dead.
off. Just Oh my god, that's crazy.
All right. So, do you want me to end? I'm going to end the recording. You ready, son?
No, just give me a second. I'm calculating how much experience points everybody gets.
I was waiting for that. That's one of my favorite parts.
23, 27, and yeah, everybody gets 30 experience points.
405.
You might get a small penalty if you're a Nephilim.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Don't forget about this. And
How much is it? 30?
yeah, 30.
And how much EXP should we have?
Currently, you should be having enough to be at level 4, which means you.
375
Okay.
plus whatever you get. So 405 if you have no penalty.
Yeah. You should have
And
4.
what's next level?
Next
550.
level is 550.
Sorry, I have all this stuff written down.
So a couple more sessions like this before you level up.
And we can add the 10 bonus for your birthday week.
Yes, it's my. Thank you for reminding me. Everybody gets an extra 10 because it's my birthday in 2 days.
It's your birthday today?
No, in 2 days.
Oh, in 2 days. I was going to say, oh, geez.
Happy early birthday.
I am going to be playing a Harry Potter game on my birthday anyways. So.
Oh!
Hi everyone, and thank you for watching this video. If you want to keep up with all of the adventures on this channel, don't forget to subscribe and click the bell button so you can get a notification each time we upload the next episode of this story. And it would be very nice of you to like and share the video to help this channel grow. Have a nice day everyone.